And we get set for this fifth game of the year for the Clinton Maroons. We're already at the midway point of the season, the regular season. The Maroons come into this ball game with a 3-1 record, 1-1 in conference play with the win over Warrensburg and the loss to Monticello last week, 49-41. And St. Teresa, as we said, they check into this ball game with a 2-1 record on the season so far. And this will be their first conference game of the year. Joe Spencer is alongside. This is Larry Dooling. And, Joe, what about St. Teresa? Tell us a little bit about this football team. They're experienced. They were a playoff team last year, and they've got some key players out there that we'll be watching tonight.
Yes, they went deep into the 2A playoffs last year, and they retain a lot of starters off that team. We'll look at the offense first here. They got a very good quarterback from last year, John Hunt. He passed very well for them last year and did a good job against the Maroons. Of course, you always, if you know anything at all about St. Teresa football, there's usually a guy named Overrocker on their team. Once again, he's one of their main players. He's a pretty good tailback for them. He's also complemented by fullback Chris Harding, and Josh Wilkes is a good, experienced wide receiver for John Hunt to hit.
They apparently do have the ability to move the football. From what you can tell, are they more dependent upon the ground game than they are the pass, or can they do a little bit of both?
Well, they did a little bit of both against Moreau, but I think if their coach had his say, he'd like to be giving the ball to Overrocker and Harding most of the game, just so you could keep it kind of a conservative game on offense.
Traditionally, St. Teresa seems to be a team that always has good team quickness, and when we think about their defense, that appears to be the case again this year. They might not be the biggest team you meet during the course of the year, but they're certainly one of the quicker teams, and they make up for that lack of size with their speed out there on the football field.
Yeah, that's one thing. I was talking with Coach Knutson, and he was a little worried about St. Teresa's front line because he says there's usually fast guys that are hard to block, and they shut down Moreau's running game pretty well last week in the second half, and that's why they won. And if they can do that tonight against Clinton, they will have success.
We had a busy week next week, I understand. They've got this game tonight, but they're trying to make up for that that open date they had back in the second week of the season, right?
Yes, they have the game tonight, this Friday. Then they have a game Tuesday against a 4A school. I can't remember the name, but it's 4A.
Somebody was telling me, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but somebody was mentioning they thought it was Bethalto Civic Memorial High, which is down by St. Louis area.
That's what it is.
Kevin tells us that is correct. All right, thank you, Kevin.
And then they have another conference game next Friday night against Warrensburg-Latham.
Right,
so
right.
They're going to be pretty busy this week.
I'd be real thrilled about having Civic Memorial scheduled in there in the middle of that, wouldn't you? But they're going to play it anyway, and who knows, they might do well with that. All right, what about the Maroons? Can they bounce back from last week's exciting but kind of disappointing ball game when we gave up 49 points last week and lost 49-41?
Well, the key thing on defense, they have to do a better job of initial tackling. I mean, Doug, if he got past the line, it's going to be a little while before the secondary can come up and make the stop. And if the initial tackling is better against Overrocker and Harding this game, I think that the Maroons defense ought to be able to stop St. Teresa's running game.
So what do we have to do on offense here, first of all, to put some points on the board? What do we need to continue doing, maybe, I should say?
Well, the Maroons have had success on the running game, and I think tonight there's no exception. They have to establish the running game with Ryan Connolly, their leading rusher, and Nate Sands in the option, I think, is their best bet. They run some options right and left and maybe throw some sweeps in there and get the running game going before they go to the passing game.
By the way, my understanding is Ryan Conley is fine to be ready to go tonight. He did suffer a bit of a concussion in that ball game last week, and that's why he sat out the last good quarter of the ball game against Monticello. But he'll be ready to go tonight and should be all right. Can we throw through the air a little bit against St. Teresa tonight, do you think?
Yes, Nate Sams is an awesome quarterback, and he's got some targets in Bob Igems and Ryan Schumacher. Last week, he threw for 229 yards and 3 touchdowns. So after you soften up the defense a little bit with the running game, you can go to that passing attack definitely. And I think the Maroons, if they do soften up the defense a little bit with the run, can have success with the short to intermediate passes and really move the ball down the field like they have been, as they are the top scoring team in the Panagraph area.
We see some of the cars pulling in and trying to find places to park, and here comes the Clinton High School band making their way out here, and they'll be performing for the crowd before we get this game underway in the next couple of minutes. All right, here's the big question, the real important question. Can we slow St. Teresa down and keep them maybe not off the scoreboard, but down enough where we can outscore them? You know, we struggled with that last week. Obviously, we weren't able to outscore Monticello last week, losing 49-41. So I've heard some talk, and you know you have sources here since you're at the high school all during the week and you talk to your buds, but I understand we're making some defensive adjustments, and we might even see a little personnel change possibly in the secondary. Can you give us any information on that, or should we wait till we see the defense go onto the field and then see what happens?
Well, I have heard some rumors, and I've heard some rumors that Nate Sams might be getting able to play defense in the secondary. He's been making a case to try to get out there on defense all last year.
Tell us about that. I mean, what's he feels like he should be playing defense too? Is that what he's been telling the coaches?
Well, yes, he said he'd want the opportunity to play defense. He says he wants the opportunity to hit some guys hard, and he said if he does get to play defense this game, he'll be looking for Overrocker and some of the other guys to put a good hit on.
I think the Maroons might be making a little change in their alignment of their defensive players out there in the field also, using something they haven't used so far this year, but we'll just wait and see when they come out in the field if that is the case. But maybe a little bit different alignment out there to help slow down the run, which obviously they've got to do. They've got to stuff the run.
Yes, that is definitely, because St. Teresa's bread and butter is on the run, as is Clinton, and I think the defense that shows that they can stop the running game first will have a definite edge in this ball game.
And we were a little sloppy on our tackling. It seemed like we had shots at guys and we missed them, or we didn't hang on to them, wrap them up, but we got to improve upon that, I understand, too.
Yes, with St. Teresa's quickness, you have to at least slow the guy down with the first initial tackler, and last week the Maroons just didn't do that. They let Delgadillo get to the outside, and he just ate him up on the sweeps, and if St. Teresa's allowed to do that, then this won't be a very pretty ball game, but I don't expect it will happen.
We've got our sideline reporter tonight again, like we did 2 weeks ago, Mike Craig. Let me see if Mike's down there anywhere near the field. Mike, you there? Mike, are you there? Don't hear him yet, so we'll have to check with him a little bit later on. Maybe he's out having a hamburger or something right now. I don't know. I can't see him right now, so I don't know where he's at right now. We're going to take a break on our pregame show. The band's coming out, and we're going to have the playing of the national anthem very shortly, and also the school song, and be getting this game underway in the next couple of minutes. So hustle on out here if you're planning on taking in this ball game here at Clinton High School. It's the next to the last home game of the regular season. The Maroons are on the road the next 2 weeks, and then they play Argenta, the homecoming ball game, in 3 weeks from now, and then they finish with a road ball game, as there's only 4 weeks remaining after this ball game for the rest of the regular season. We'll take a break here and be back with the remainder of our pregame show and then kickoff when we return in a moment. The Clinton Maroons, it Sands wants to throw. He's looking for Herzog up the right sideline all the way. He's beat his man. He caught it. 20, 50, 10, 5, touchdown, Maroons! Split backfield, one wide receiver each way. Quick pop over the middle to Nichols. He'll give it. Oh, and the lateral to Carter. Hook and ladder. Carter's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Maroons! Maroons really need to score on this play. From the 6, Sands hands it off. Conley trying to get around the corner. He's got the speed. 5, touchdown! TD, baby!
Clinton Maroon football brought to you by the John Warner Bank, Edward D. Jones and Company, Dave's Food Basket, Walker Tire, Allen Chiropractic, Ace Hardware, Subway, Joe Taylor Attorney at Law, Quality Glass, Illinois Power, and the Clinton Daily Journal.
St. Teresa's already on the field. They have been for a while the band was making their way out the field. They're dressed in their traveling uniforms, the white jerseys with blue numerals, and their other school color of orange there on their pants and helmets, trimmed in the blue and white. The Maroons wearing the maroon over maroon tonight, trimmed in white and gold. And the lights are on. The sun is setting. The rain that we had yesterday and earlier today has moved off, at least for now. We've seen some sunshine, and now the sky's partly cloudy, but it looks like we're going to get this one in without any rain tonight. We certainly hope so. And Carl Courts is set to kick it off for the Maroons. He has it teed up at the Maroon 40-yard line. They're two deep men, and the one we want to watch carefully is Shane Overrocker. For those of you watching the television replay, he wears number 6. It hits off one of the up men and will be taken by another man in the second line. Ryan Campbell will try to return it. Runs into a crowd around the 35. It's up to about the 37-yard line. And that short line drive kick that Carl made sure he kept away from Overrocker. He's returned to about the 37-yard line where St. Teresa will start 1st and 10.
Well, I talked with Carl a little bit today, and he said that he and the coaching staff had implemented the line drive kick, and they said they were going to use it to try to limit the big gains off the returns this week.
Yeah, that obviously a result of the 2 kickoff returns last week pulled off by Monticello. Campbell, who made that return, comes wide to the right side. They've got another man wide to the left side, an I formation behind the experienced senior quarterback John Hunt, number 15 out there. And on 1st down with a long call. has the football. We'll give it to Overrocker. He finds it opening up the middle. Hurdles a couple of men as he gets across the 40 and out to about the 43-yard line. A quick gain of about 6 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Bulldogs.
It was a quick trap up the middle of the field. Good initial push by the St. Teresa linemen as once again they got off the ball quickly. That's what they do, and the Maroons just got caught a little bit there, but 2nd down.
Again, out of the I formation, the fullback is Justin Brinkotter in front of Overrocker in the backfield. On 2nd and 4 now for the Bulldogs. They'll pitch it, and Overrocker will try a sweep right. The Maroons force him inside. He's still on his feet, though. Has the 1st down across midfield, still bouncing off tacklers, and then the Maroons gain tackling, but not till he gets to the 45-yard line of the Maroons. A big gain on that one. Have at least 10 yards and maybe a couple of more, closer to 12, as they're going to give him forward progress all the way to the Maroon 44-yard line. They had good blocking out in front that time.
They ran a sweep wide to the right side, and it was good blocking as it freed him up. The wide receiver also made a good block to free him up downfield, and he bounced off the first tackler there and got a few more yards than he might have gained.
We'll check in with Mike Craig, see if he's got his sideline mic working okay now, and get his perspective in just a moment. John Hunt has him up to the line, though, on 1st and 10 from the Maroon 44 for the Bulldogs. They fake to the fullback. He wants to throw, has some pressure, gets away from a man. Now scrambling with the football, takes it to the middle field. Lemmel catches him from behind, gets help from Josh Wilson, and down he goes. No gain on the play. Mike, is your mic working?
Yeah. Sure is, Larry.
I can hear you.
Good.
Hey, it looks like we've made some changes defensively out there. What's the alignment out there?
It looks like a 5-man front. I'm not for sure. I haven't seen it real good, but it looks like a 5-man front.
But we do see number 9 out there. Nate Sams is playing defense for the Maroons. You see Nate there? He's
yeah, here comes Nate on this side. It is a 4-4.
We'll talk more about that in a moment. On 2nd down and about 11, as they lost a yard on that 1st down play, they send a man in motion. They'll give the Overrocker. He's got an opening, but the Maroons close it down. He falls forward to about the 39-yard line as Igens came up and made the tackle. And then there's a flag thrown well after the play. Hey, Mike, can you hear what's going on down there? They threw that flag after the play was open. Could you pick up anything?
What happened, Larry? It looks to me we might be able to get a turnover or two from Overrocker tonight. He carries that ball like a bag of bread out there.
That's a personal foul against the Maroons. He does hang that out there. I noticed when I watched the highlights of the Maroa game from last Saturday, he hangs it out there like a loaf of bread or something.
Yeah, somebody can poke a hand in there, maybe get it out of there.
I hope we can take advantage of that, but unfortunately this is going to go against the Maroons. And I didn't see what it was, but they called a personal foul on the Maroons, and it's all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big 15-yard penalty after the carry, so they've got another 1st down. And the Bulldogs already moving in the scoring position at the 24, 1st and 10.
Could have been a late hit, I think.
John Hunt is under center. Sends a man in motion. That's Ryan Campbell that goes from right to left. Steps back, tries a short pop, throwing it up in the corner. Nobody's there. Schumacher's the closest man to it. A late break on the ball by the intended receiver, Josh Wilkes. He's the split end for St. Teresa, but he apparently wasn't on the same page as his quarterback, John Hunt, on that play.
It looked Hunt was going to the fade pattern, and Wilkes broke it off to a quick out pattern to the sideline. And it just looked like big miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver there.
I think the Maroons are in a 4-4 defense, it looks like. They've got 4 men up there in the front line, Earl, and also on that front line, as usual, on the end, the other end, is Ross Wantlin. Lemmel, of course, is in the middle. I think it's Casey Hicks. We'll check the linebackers in a moment. They give to the fullback this time, and getting some yardage is their fullback, Justin Brinkotter, who's a 6-foot, 175-pound junior. And he broke it down inside the 20-yard line to about the 19 or so, a gain of 5. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Bulldogs. Josh Wilson and Jeff Wilson are in there at the linebackers. We mentioned Nate Sams is in there, although I'm not sure where he's lining up exactly. Might be an outside linebacker or a cornerback. Randy Rich is in there lining up at a quarterback spot. And then you got Wes Graves and, of course, Bob Igens back at the safety and Ryan Schumacher. They'll hand it off up the middle again. Brinkotter, somebody holding on. That's Jeff Wilson holding on at the ankles. He was able to get his forward progress close to a 1st down, but still a couple of yards short of the 1st down. Brings up a 4th down and a long 2. Not much of a gain on that particular play for Brinkotter and St. Teresa.
They tried to run a quick trap up off the tackle, and it was a good job by the Maroons linebackers as they picked up the gap and didn't give Brinkotter much yardage.
So a 4th and a long 2 for the Bulldogs. They're at the Maroons' 17-yard line. Maybe closer to the 16. They'll try to Brinkotter again. Now the quarterback keeps it, runs behind him, breaks away from another tackler, still on his feet. Hunt's very close to the goal line, and he got the ball over the goal line as he fell down. He reached out and got it over the goal line for the touchdown. John Hunt, some nifty running there. The quarterback of St. Teresa has put St. Teresa on the board first on that touchdown run of approximately 16 yards. And the Bulldogs strike first. He used his fullback nicely to run behind and get into the clear.
Well, the offensive line kept the guys off Brinkotter and Hunt. It was kind of deceptive. I couldn't tell who had the ball at first. And then Brinkotter threw a nice lead block to free up Hunt, who just got in for the score.
Hunt, though, as he comes back to hold for this extra point, looked like he might have been in just a little bit of pain. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he might have got shaken up a little bit on that tackle. Here's the kick for the extra point. Has plenty of distance, and it is good for St. Teresa and Andy Cox, their sophomore kicker. So here in the first quarter of play with 8 minutes and about 12 seconds ago in our first quarter of play, St. Teresa leads. We'll take a break. It's 7-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Walker Tire is a proud sponsor of the Clinton Maroons. Serving the community for 10 years, Walker Tire provides complete on-the-farm service, including exhaust systems, brakes, front-end alignment, belts, hoses, and minor repair on all makes and models. At Walker Tire, 400 Illini Drive in Clinton and Route 54 West in Farmer City, 2 service trucks stand ready to serve your every need. Call Dave or Phil at 935-8923 for all of your tire and exhaust needs. At Walker Tire, the motto is, invite us to your next flat.
Big Matt Urbanowitz is going to kick it off for St. Teresa, and that is not a real good kick. It's going to go out of bounds over the St. Teresa bench at about the 36-yard line. And he's standing out here. I don't know if he's on camera right now. No, not quite. But he stopped about 2 yards after he kicked it and just watched that ball like a golfer hooking the shot and looking at it in disgust. I know that feeling. I know that very well. Joe, you probably don't know that feeling. You don't golf, do you?
No.
Good for you.
But I think the appropriate word for that is shank.
Yeah, shank.
And he kicked that just sideways, not even straight, I don't think.
Now that ball was spinning, going, gone. A lot of fans along the fence over on the far side for St. Teresa. You know, of course, they're excited about their football program again this year. And they're going to make the short trip from Decatur up here to Clinton to watch their football team. Well, we'll see if the Maroons offense can continue their offensive ways. The last 3 weeks in a row, we've scored 40 or more points. And the Maroons are the #1 offensive team in the Pantograph area. They put that in the paper there, ranked good 4 points per game above anybody else in those standings.
Just under 36 points a game. Very impressive.
And that was after a 14-7 win in the first game of the year. So you know we've been putting some points on the board. We're going to start from our own 36 after the Maroons declined the penalty. A little reverse pitch to Igems. Got some running room up the right sideline in front of the St. Teresa bench. Has the first down. He's across midfield. He goes out of bounds in St. Teresa territory. They faked the option to the left, and like they would pitch it to Conley, and then did the reverse move to Igems coming across the other way, and he got the first down run to the 49 of St. Teresa.
It was a very good job. It was pretty deceptive by the Maroons, as it looked like just a straight option play to Conley, and they hit Igems on the reverse to the right side.
Sams has him up to the line of scrimmage. Maroons in St. Teresa territory. And Wilson gets some nice running up the right sideline. Very close to a first down also. Good blocking out in front. Lemmel and Schumacher and Wantland blocking the way on that right side and getting him very close to a first down. We'll see where the officials spot it. He's inside the 40, almost to the 39-yard line, and they'll be about a half yard short of a first down. Second and short coming up for the Maroons.
They ran off the big right side of Dave Lemmel and Casey Hicks, and they gave them good blocks, and then Jeff Wilson just ran like a battering ram through the hole to pick up 9 yards. 2
wide receivers, Schumacher, Igems to the left side. I formation behind Sam. Short pop over the middle. He's got his man. Did he hold on? No, it was Taylor, I believe, Lance Taylor, and Lance juggled that ball and they hit the turf incomplete. Interesting call on the second down and short. You got to like that. They would have had a lot of first down yardage and more, but the Maroons will still have a crack at the first down on third and short.
Yeah, it was just a quick slant in pass, kind of a crossing pattern over the middle where the wide receiver breaks from his spot to the middle of the field. A very quick developing pattern, and it's Lance first down.
So on third and short now, wide receivers both ways, Van Fossen and Queer. And they'll take the handoff. Looking to pass. Sam's under a lot of pressure. Flaring it out there for Van Fossen, but overshot him by a couple of yards. And the Maroons will have fourth down and very short coming up. Still, they're out here at the 39 of St. Teresa. Mike, what kind of condition is the field in? We had a lot of rain the last at least 24 hours or so up till this afternoon sometime.
Well, Larry, it looks pretty good down here. There's no water in it now. Looks like everybody's getting pretty good traction.
So it doesn't seem to be bothering anybody, huh?
No, I haven't seen any slips, and there's no moisture in the grass at all. There was enough sun today to dry it out, so it looks like it's in pretty good shape.
All right, well, it's a good football field here at Clinton High School. Fourth and short. Will Nate just quarterback sneak it and try to get the first down here? He's trying to draw him off sides. He'll use a timeout. He tried to pull him off sides, couldn't get it done, and now I think the Maroons are going to punt the football.
Yeah,
Well, shoot, would have been nice to get another first down and keep this drive going.
They tried to pull them off sides, but St. Teresa didn't bite on it, and it does look like they might punt the ball away, not wanting to risk giving St. Teresa good field position to start another drive.
Mike, you were down there by the bench when St. Teresa scored a little bit ago. What was the reaction from the players? Are they still very upbeat down there?
Yeah, they seem like they're still pretty up. It was a pretty good drive by St. Teresa, but the players seem to still be up pretty good.
Well, we had them in a 4th down and 2 situation, but Hunt was able to run it in, and I thought maybe that would take a little wind out of our sails on that kind of play.
Yeah, that was a broken tackle, I think, about 5 yards across the line of scrimmage. He would have had the first down, but it was a broken tackle.
Maroons last week against Monticello, Joe, pulled the fake punt twice for first downs, throwing to Conley out in the side. And here comes Conley wide to the left side, Idens to the right side, as Sams drops back near midfield to punt the football. I'm sure St. Teresa reviewed the film, though.
Yeah, I think St. Teresa's got 2 guys covering there.
And Nate will punt the football. High kick and not carrying very far. It will take a little bit of a Maroon bounce inside the 25, go inside the 20, and stop dead about the 19-yard line or so. Nate has no problem getting him high in the air, but it didn't carry real far downfield. From the line of scrimmage, it's about a 20-yard punt.
Well, St. Teresa's back down to their own 18, maybe a tackle for loss here or there or something. And hopefully the Maroons can pin them back and get good field position off their punt.
Little over 7 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. St. Teresa leads 7-0. They scored on their opening drive on a 16-yard run by quarterback John Hunt. He's out there again with his football team on the right hash mark. Wide receivers both ways. He'll hand off to the first man, and Brinkotter's hemmed in the middle. Jeff Wilson came spinning through there from his linebacker spot, being very aggressive, and Josh Wilson also, and they were in on the tackle. And it looks like our linebackers are getting a little bit more involved on these tackles than maybe they were last week against Monticello, Mike.
Yeah, it looks like they're funneling them right to the linebackers. Jeff Wilson's been in on about every tackle.
So that's good to see, even though we gave up that opening touchdown. Hopefully that will help us out the rest of this ball game with their type of play. It brings up a 2nd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. And Hunt has him up there at about the 20-yard line. He'll go to the second man. Over Rocker. He's met. Still spinning, trying to get some yardage, but good gang tackling on the part of the Maroons. I want to catch who that initial tackler was on the play, and that was Josh Wilson again. He's getting in on a lot of tackles out there. Over Rocker did get a couple of yards out of it, but it's 3rd down and 6 now coming up for the Bulldogs at the 23-yard line.
Once again, they just tried to run it up the middle, run it in between the tackles. That looks like where they've tried to go most of the time, and the Maroons linebackers are filling the holes well and not giving St. Teresa much yardage up the middle.
Maybe this new defensive alignment's helping plug some of those gaps that were pretty large in the ball game against Monticello. They'll try to sweep this time. Over Rocker trying to get around the corner, and the Maroons are there. 2 players were there to grab hold of him. Jeff Wilson, and also I think that was Randy Rich, or no, it was Wes Graves who comes out of there, I believe. Those 2 were the ones from my vantage point that were in on that tackle and dropped him for a good 2 or 3 yard loss on the play, and it's 4th and long coming up for St. Teresa.
That's very encouraging for the Maroons because that's where the Maroons had their problems last week when the Monticello went wide with their run and ran the sweeps, but good initial tackling there as they forced them to stay inside the tacklers.
A punt from inside the 10 with some pressure. The Maroons went after it but didn't get it. Idens, the deep man. It's a very short kick for St. Teresa. The Maroons are going to have great field position as the ball drops dead at the 35-yard line in St. Teresa territory. So even though they didn't block the punt, they put enough pressure on the punter to kick that ball straight up in the air. It didn't carry downfield very far.
It was only about a 10-yard punt, and the Maroons will start over just to where St. Teresa had to go for the first down, it looked like.
Mike, is there any wind out there at all? It looks like, again, no wind here at a home football game.
No wind at all, Larry. Just as calm and still. Good weather. It feels like it's about 60 degrees, I would imagine.
Yeah, it feels more like a football weather game now tonight. And here's Wilson, Jeff Wilson, on the carry up the middle. He got a couple of yards. The line of scrimmage just inside the 35. He got it down maybe to the 32-yard line. A gain of about 3. And 2nd and 7 coming up. I tell you, Mike, the Maroons pursued Over Rocker very well on that last offensive play for St. Teresa.
They strung that play right down the line of scrimmage, and Jeff Wilson come through the hole that David Limo made, because David gets across the line about every time, but Jeff Wilson followed him right in the hole and did what he had to do.
Yeah, they made sure they got the tackle, too, instead of just grabbing at him. Here's Sams wanting to throw out in the right flat for Schumacher. He's open. He's got the catch, and he's out of bounds near the 14-yard line. On the far sideline, nicely thrown ball by Nate Sams. That one took a little while to develop, Joe, but it worked out nicely as Sams found Schumacher, who had found an open seam out there.
Well, it was kind of a zigzag pattern as Schumacher broke to the middle of the field and then broke out to the sideline again and picked up a nice 16-yard gain for first down.
First down, just inside the 15, near the 14-yard line for Clinton. They trail 7-0 to St. Teresa, but they're moving the football. This time it won't get a lot. I think that was Conley who got the handoff, and he's cut down near the line of scrimmage. His first carry, but it doesn't amount to much of anything. Yeah, it'll bring up a second down and 10. Go ahead, Joe.
They tried to run a quick trap up the middle, and just the offensive line, or defensive line, I mean, for St. Teresa, exploded off the ball, really, and I think that they just got a few guys in there quicker than the Maroons did, and Connolly really couldn't find a hole.
Well, that stand by the defense a moment ago was encouraging, and I think that's lifted this ball club a little bit, and I think they've got the confidence, even though they have 2nd and 10 now, to try to put some points on the board. There's 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side, but they'll hand it off at the middle. Wilson's got an opening. He's going to go all the way, and the Maroons have scored. A big hole up the middle, and Jeff Wilson burst into the end zone with no trouble at all. That's a 15-yard touchdown run for Jeff Wilson as the Maroons. Another great call by Brian Knutson of the Clinton Maroons coaching staff. He caught him off guard. He sent trips to the left-hand side, and they weren't expecting the fullback to run up the middle. No way.
Well, they had just stuffed the run up the middle. They tried another quick trap again, but this time Ross Wantland and Casey Hicks pulled their man out of the way, and Jeff Wilson just barreled through the hole for the score.
Here's Carl Courts on for the extra point that could tie it up. Kick is on the way. It looks good from here. Lots of distance. And a nice catch by Mike Mannix out there behind the goal. The ball retriever made a nice catch on that one. We are tied at 7 apiece. 3:32 to go in the first quarter of play. Back with more in a moment.
Quality Glass and Trim wants to take this time to wish the Maroons the best of luck in their football season. Quality Glass is your complete glass sales and service center. Locally owned and operated, we repair storm windows and screens, replace auto vinyl tops and headliners. We handle all types of glass from desktops to windshields. All insurance work is welcome. Give us a call at 935-3120 or stop by 220 Northeast Street, Clinton. Quality Glass and Trim is proud to be a sponsor of the Clinton Maroons.
All right, that's very encouraging. The Maroons defense did the job, stopped St. Teresa pretty deep in their own territory, forced a very short punt. The Maroons took over at the 35, and pretty quickly they moved it right in for the score, Joe, and that makes us feel a lot better about things after St. Teresa scored so quickly.
Well, they played the possession game. They got the ball in pretty good territory after they stopped St. Teresa. They buried them back out their 18 and then got very good field position just to St. Teresa's 35 and used it to their advantage.
Courts line drive kick. It will bounce back to Overrocker at the 12 on the run. 15, 20. Looking for a running room up the middle, and the Maroons cut him down at about the 25-yard line. Shane Van Fossen, I believe, was the first man to catch him from behind. He certainly was in on the tackle, and not a big return there. They're going to give him out to the 30-yard line. I looked at the wrong stripe out there. So about almost a 20-yard return, but St. Teresa will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Once again, it was a line drive kick as Carl's trying to kick it short, and they don't want to give Overrocker a lot of time to where he can dictate where he goes.
We're in the latter portion of the first quarter of play, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. St. Teresa, the 3rd possession of the football game with it. They'll try to draw. There's Lemmel there, right in the face of Overrocker. Game tackling by the Maroons. And a loss on the play for Shane Overrocker, but it was David Lemmel who met him straight up in the backfield.
Well, it looked like it could have been a play-action pass, but they did hand off to Overrocker, and he met Dave Lemmel right there as he got the ball.
Mike Craig standing at that yard line. Did you hear the pad smack a little bit on that one?
We definitely heard the pad smack. You know, if you figure it up, Casey and David Lemmel, they're probably way close to 600 pounds between the two of them, and they definitely filled a hole there.
All right, the Maroons now forcing St. Teresa into a 2nd down and long, about a 2nd and 14 as they're back now at about their own 26, and they want to throw. Hunt, a long drop, trying to set up a screen, but the Maroons cover it well. Now they run with the football. They grab him. He throws into the Clinton bench, incomplete. He says there was a man in the vicinity. He's pointing downfield saying my receiver was there, and the officials say, yes, incomplete pass. The Maroons, of course, were wanting a ground the football call, but that's a heads-up play by a senior quarterback, Hunt, there to unload when he was going to be sacked for a loss on the play.
Well, Clinton fans could be griping a little bit, but they did have a tight end out there in the vicinity of the ball. I do think he was trying to throw it away, obviously, but they did have somebody out there.
I don't know exactly who his primary receiver or where it was, but apparently the Maroons had it covered pretty well. He took such a deep drop, looked like he was setting up a screen or something like that, and Overrocker, I know, was well covered on the play. So the Maroons defense certainly has stepped it up from last week so far. Here's a pitch, Overrocker. They will reverse it, and they've got wide open running down the other sideline, but the Maroons cover it pretty quickly. Here comes Eigens, here comes Schumacher, and they cut it down after only a couple-yard gain. But there's another flag thrown, and I hope this doesn't give them a 1st down, but it's about got to be. A flag thrown on the tackle over there in front of the bench. The Maroons being very aggressive, and you don't want to see him pull the reins back at all, but they might. Yes, they're hit with another personal foul. I couldn't tell from here. Did he give a face mask indication? I didn't see that. I wasn't watching the whole way. A face mask. Well, I guess you can't discredit that. Apparently somebody grabbed the face mask. Boy, the Maroons had him cut down well short of the first down. They only got about 2 yards in that reverse, which looked like was going to go for quite a bit for Ryan Campbell, who took that handoff from Overrocker.
Well, it did look like it would go for a while as all the Maroons over-pursued to the left side, and then when they swung it back around, it looked like they had nobody over there, but the guys did a nice job pursuit, and he only got 2-3 yards.
They're at their own 43 now as they mark it off from the point of the infraction, and this time Hunt will keep it. He's got some opening, and he's across midfield into about the 48-yard line, about an 8-yard pickup for Hunt as he cut it upfield on that option to the right. It'll bring up a second down and short. That was a key penalty in this ball game against the Maroons. They had the momentum going their way. They had St. Teresa stopped, and that would have been a punting situation coming up, but the penalty gives them a first down, and now they're into Clinton territory.
Well, once again, the penalties hurt. They had a personal foul penalty on the first drive, and that helped St. Teresa get in Clinton's territory, so Clinton is asserting themselves as much as St. Teresa is right now.
On 2nd and 2, they'll give it to Overrocker, trying it up the middle, runs over Wilson, gets the first down, but only got a couple of yards as Jeff Wilson was there to make the tackle, but Overrocker had his momentum going. They didn't give him quite as good a spot as I thought they would. He's right at the first down marker, and they're going to have to measure. I thought he had enough for the first down. At the 47 of the Maroons, so they stop the clock, and they will take a measurement here, Joe.
Yes, they tried to run once again up the middle through the tackles, and the linebackers were there for the Maroons. They are filling the holes nicely so far.
Mike Craig's getting a good eye on this one, and it is a first down, huh, Mike?
Yep, first down.
Okay, thanks for that in-depth report from the sideline. You got anything else for us right now, or are you just taking a nap down there?
I'm taking a nap.
Okay.
No, they're blocking. They're not moving us off the ball.
We're holding our own, huh?
Yeah, we're holding our own down on the line of scrimmage. It's just if we can stop the option.
We'll see what they do now on 1st and 10 at the Maroons 47. About 1:25 to go here in the first quarter play. We're tied at 7 apiece. 7-7 score. Hunt with a long call under center. Takes the hand off to Brinkotter. He'll keep the football. Wantland has him around the ankles and throws him down after he got about 3 or 4 yards inside the 45 and down to about the 42-yard line. Pretty deceptive on that handoff to the fullback. You have to keep an eye on it and double-check whether or not he really gave it to the fullback or whether he kept the football. It was hard to tell that time as they ran away from us to the left-hand side.
Yeah, well, coming out of the I formation, it's hard to see exactly where the ball is going, and Hunt disguises the ball well, and you really can't tell who's got it.
It's close to a 2nd down and 5. It's a long 5 for St. Teresa. And this man on the right-hand side jumped too soon, and there's a flag thrown. And that was obvious because it was right in front of us. Josh Wilkes, the split end, who was lined up here wide to the right-hand side, was a count ahead of the snap, and he was across that line of scrimmage too soon. So here's a penalty coming up against the Bulldogs. Did you see that? I saw that.
Yeah,
I was paying attention.
I saw that, and it'll basically put it back to a 2nd down and 10 situation for St. Teresa. And right now, this is a pretty good time for the Maroons to stuff St. Teresa and get the ball back. Is 2nd and long, you know, they might have to pass. That's what I'm looking for. Well, I think they'll run right now, but if they stuff them on the run, they'll have to pass on 3rd and long.
Time for a play or two, maybe, here in the first quarter of play. Hunt rolling out right, wanting to throw the football. Has time, now throws it downfield. He's got a man open there, and he comes down with it. It's Wilkes, makes the catch at about the 34-yard line. And that'll be enough for a St. Teresa first down. Looked like a little down-and-out pattern, and he had the opening on the sideline to make that catch. And Hunt rolling out, taking his time, running it almost all the way to the sideline before he threw, was able to put it right on the money.
Well, that was a designed roll right, meaning that the quarterback, the play is designed to have the quarterback roll out that way, and the wide receiver just followed him across the field, and it was a nice pattern for St. Teresa as the defense couldn't defend the pass the way it was thrown.
Another Bulldog first down at the 34 of Clinton. They've got 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side this time. Hunt will give it to Overrocker, though. He'll try to find an opening on the left-hand side. Finds a little bit of an opening. Dodges one tackler, then is grabbed by Schumacher and a couple of others and brought down after about a 4-yard gain. Just short of the 30-yard line is where they'll spot the football. And that may run out the clock here in our first quarter of play, and it does. We're at the end of 1 quarter of play, and we're all tied up. Our score here at Clinton High School is Clinton 7, Decatur St. Teresa 7. Back with more in a moment.
Joe Taylor is a senior partner in the law firm of Smith, Taylor & Johnson at 216 South Center in Clinton. Joe Taylor's experience includes trusts, estate planning, divorces, bankruptcy, taxes, and commercial litigation. Call Joe Taylor at 935-21834 for an appointment. Your legal needs are important and will be handled discreetly and with the highest priority. Best of luck to the Clinton Maroons for the upcoming season, and may the scales of justice tip in the favor of the Maroons.
Joe, I don't know about you, but the way that first quarter started out, St. Teresa scored in less than 4 minutes into the ball game, scored that opening touchdown, and John Hunt, their quarterback, ran it in from 16 yards out. It looked like pretty easily on that first drive. I thought we might be in for a long night, but after the end of the first quarter play, we're all even with them 7-7. I think this is going to be a good ball game the rest of the course. I think it's going to be a pretty even Steven ball game.
Well, I think the Maroons made a little bit of defensive adjustments after that first drive. I think that the linebackers are playing a little closer to the line of scrimmage, and that is allowing them to get up in the holes that St. Teresa is trying to create.
The St. Teresa team had been state ranked earlier this year. I believe they still are. I think they're like 9th in Class 2A, aren't they, coming into tonight? Is that correct?
They're either 9 or 10, I believe.
Depends upon maybe what poll you're looking at or whatever. But anyway, they have gotten state recognition, obviously, because of their tradition and the ball club that they had last year and the number of players they had coming back this year. They have a 2nd down and 7 at about the 30-yard line, and Overrocker gets the call again. He's got 5, 6, 7 yards before he's grabbed around the ankles by Wes Graves, and he's down inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line, and that's very close to another first down. It is a first down for St. Teresa, and Overrocker found some running room that time. The Maroons on St. Teresa's second drive shut them down, and had them shut down on this drive, but a face mask penalty kept this drive alive for St. Teresa. Now they're starting to move into scoring position again.
Yes, really, I think the penalty did key it because it moved St. Teresa in Clinton position, and they're running between the tackles right now.
Looks like they gave it to the fullback that time, and he got off the ball quickly. I noticed that time. It seemed like before the snap of the football, he was off and going, but they got the handoff to him, and Brinkotter gets a quick 3 yards up the middle as he spins down close to the 20-yard line. 2nd and 7, again, is a call for St. Teresa. It was a moment ago also.
Well, that play's hard to defend as it's coming out of the I formation. It's just a quick hand up to the fullback instead of waiting all the way for the tailback, and I think the Maroons did a nice job of stuffing that in the middle once again.
No turnovers so far in this ball game. It's time for the Maroons to try to force one if they can. Hunt will give it to Overrocker. He carries to the right side. Sam's had a hold of him, slowed him down enough that Wilson, along with Brad Earl, are able to make the tackle. Nate Sams had the first crack at him and slowed him down enough that kept Overrocker from picking up any yardage. As a matter of fact, I think he lost about a yard on the play.
Yes, and they did a nice job there as he forced Overrocker to bounce outside a little bit, and that allowed other defenders to come over and get in position to tackle Overrocker. And Nate also bumped him a little bit to slow him down. So Nate's having a good debut at defense, it looks like.
Yeah, this is his first game that he's played defense, much to speak of. I think he was in for like one play in one other game that we noticed. 3rd and still about 8 at the 21-yard line for St. Teresa. Will they go to the air? Hunt wants to throw. Fly pattern down the left sideline. The receiver made a nice adjustment on the ball, then goes up high and can't make the catch. It goes through his hands incomplete. But he had the defender, Randy Rich, turned around a little bit, and Josh Wilkes had a shot at it at about the 3-yard line, but it went through his hands incomplete, and it's 4th down coming up.
That was a very dangerous pattern for St. Teresa's. It was a fade pattern. Hunt just lofted it up in the air for Wilkes, and Randy slipped and fell down a little bit, and Wilkes had a nice shot at catching the ball, but he just couldn't pull it in.
Mike, what about the coverage on that? That looked scary for a moment. You were down there close by it. Could you see it? Well, we're going to wait till we get this play in before we talk to Mike. On 4th and 8 now, Hunt fakes the handoff, dropping straight back, slips a little bit, gets the pass off. He's got a man open over the center, and he makes the catch for a touchdown. Boy, that one, I don't know how he got that wide open in the middle, but Ryan Campbell, after the quarterback Hunt slipped, trying to set up to make that pass, and I thought, okay, now the Maroons got a shot at it here. Hunt was able to lay it right on the numbers, right at the goal line, over the center of the field to Campbell for the touchdown. It's a 21-yard pass play for the touchdown, and St. Teresa has regained a lead, 13-7.
Well, he came off the line from the left side, and then he just ran a crossing pattern over the middle to where he was almost completely to the right side, and Hunt just followed him down the field, almost falling, but he got the pass there just barely.
Here's the kick for the extra point by the Bulldogs on the way, and it is good. So we have timeout on the field. 10:18 to go in the second quarter of play before we get to halftime, and the Bulldogs have regained a 1-touchdown lead over the Maroons. Our score is St. Teresa 14, Clinton 7.
Have declining interest rates forced you to take a pay cut? From 1990 to 1993, interest rates on 6-month CDs fell from 8% to less than 4%, cutting investors' income by...
Ryan Conley on the run back from inside his 10, has it opening up the middle, breaks it into the clear, fakes the kicker, is tripped up by the kicker, and gets it out near midfield before he's brought down. A great return by Ryan Conley on the kickoff from inside the 10-yard line. Had one man to beat. He had some guys pursuing from behind, but the kicker on the play tripped him up. He fell forward to close to midfield. Matt Urbanowitz, the last man, had a shot at him, and the Maroons will have it 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
The blocking did a nice job as they kind of parted the defenders every which way, and Connolly went right up the middle.
Sands will hand it off to Conley. Gets around the corner, then tries to cut upfield and is grabbed around up high by Overrocker and slung to the ground after about a 2-yard gain. He gets it into St. Teresa territory, though, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and about 7 as they'll give him a pickup of about 3 yards on the play. That one looked like it might get more than that, but Overrocker, of course, with his speed, is able to close quickly and make the tackle on the play.
Yeah, that was only Connolly's 2nd attempt, and he looked pretty good on that. He accelerated to the outside rather quickly.
Sands wants to throw. Faking, now throws it. Van Fossen can't quite catch up with it on that down and out, and they had good coverage. The defender on the play was sneaking up there like he wanted to step in front and make the interception on that one, and Nate made sure nobody could catch that one.
Well, Wilkes anticipated the pass out to the left side, and he did a good job, only Nate just threw it to where he couldn't catch it either.
St. Teresa on both their touchdowns has converted on 4th down plays. They had a 4th and 2 when Hunt ran his in for the first touchdown, and that was a 4th and 8 on the pass play when they scored. So they know when it counts they can do it, and they have so far in this ball game. Sands takes a couple of hands off. Short pass. Conley can't catch it. It was thrown behind him, and it goes incomplete. St. Teresa, very aggressive group. Even after the pass was out of the hands, their linebacker was pushing and shoving a little bit there, Justin Brickotter, to make sure Conley knew he was in the vicinity.
Well, I think he might have got in there a little bit early. I don't know. It's just me, but Connolly, the pass was thrown a little bit behind him, thus making it a tough catch. They tried to set up like a little screen out there. Connolly did have the blocking to make a run for the 1st down, though.
4th and 7, so the Maroons in punting formation. Everybody's tight on the line. They are making sure St. Teresa can't get a block here as they got everybody up on the line. Plenty of time for Sands. He gets a good kick away this time that's going to carry. Fair catch is being called for and made at about the 28 or 7-yard line, depending upon where they spot where he made that catch. And that's where St. Teresa will take over now. That was Josh Wilkes, who down that ball at the 27-yard line is where they'll spot it. So St. Teresa will start again on offense. They lead 14-7 here, still pretty early in the 2nd quarter of play. Boy, Mike, Mike Craig was down there. You saw that kickoff return. Looked like he was going to break it, Ryan Conley, and he just about had it all the way.
Well, he made one move, and I don't think he should have made that one move, because if he'd went on to the outside instead of making that move, he might have broke it all the way.
You didn't think he'd need to make the cutback, huh?
Nope.
There's a run by the fullback, Brinkcotter, and he got very little yardage. Not much running room in the middle that time. The Maroons shut that one down. A gain of maybe 1 or 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up for St. Teresa. Well, the penalties have hurt us, Mike. We had them stopped on that last drive they scored on way back at the beginning, but the face mask cost us, and they were able to score after that.
Yeah, that was a big penalty. I was too far away to see what did happen, but it looked like it was made the tackle.
There wasn't much argument on it from anybody, but, of course, as you said, it happened over in the St. Teresa side. We weren't in any position to see, and neither were our coaching staff or players. Short drop. Hunt wants to throw. Has a man open out there. Wilkes makes the catch, slips and falls down, and a good aggressive tackle by Randy Rich. They did get a gain of about 4 or 5 yards on the play, up to the 35-yard line, but they're short of the 1st down by about 3 yards. 3rd and 3 coming up for St. Teresa at about the 34.5-yard line now for the Bulldogs.
They set up a quick out pattern to the sidelines for Wilkes, and it was really a poorly thrown ball as Wilkes had to jump up the air, kind of go behind himself to make the catch. And he did a nice job just holding on to it.
Gee, I wonder if number 6 will get the call on this 3rd and 3. Overrocker, the tailback in the backfield. We'll see. Here's Hunt. Fakes to the fullback. No, excuse me. He did get the ball, and he's got the 1st down. I'm sorry. I thought he still had the football. Hunt did, but Brinkcotter did get the football, and he got the 1st down out to the 39-yard line. Maroons had him stopped near the 1st down marker, it looked like, but he kept his momentum going, and he gets it out to the 41 for another St. Teresa 1st down.
Yeah, Brinkcotter did a nice job there. He just kept on plugging away, and the linebackers just, they tried to make an arm tackle of him, and they just couldn't get a body on him, and he just kept his momentum going, and he got the 1st down.
St. Teresa with the football again. They lead by a touchdown, 14-7. They scored first in the ball game, but the Maroons answered. We ended the first quarter 7-7. Now we're in quarter number 2. And St. Teresa scored early in this period to take a 14-7 lead. They'll try to run up the middle again. It's Overrocker into the clear. Cross midfield, still on his feet. Maroons now have him surrounded, but not till he gets to the 45-yard line. And another St. Teresa 1st down. Boy, he burst up the middle quickly that time through a gap and was in the secondary in no time. And the Maroons had a couple of shots to cut him down earlier than they did, but he was able to get it all the way to almost the 44-yard line in Maroon territory.
Once again, St. Teresa worked it up inside between the tackles, and Overrocker just did a nice job of bouncing and twisting and turning off people for about a 16-yard gain.
Hunt, who is thrown for some yardage in this ball game, but likes to hand it off and gives it again here. And this time, it won't go for a lot. Good wrestling tackle made, I believe, by Wilson that time from behind on Overrocker. And finally pulled him down. Or was that Nate Sams? That was Nate Sams who grabbed him from behind and held on and finally pulled him down. Nate getting a start on both sides of the football tonight, and he held Overrocker to about a 2-yard gain on that play.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Nate as Overrocker just ran straight at him just about, and Nate just spun him down as they tried it. And once again, another run up the middle.
42-yard line of Clinton, 2nd and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Hunt with the football. Overrocker, the lone man in the backfield, gets the call, has an opening right side, then crashes into the defenders. Earl was there, although he was being blocked on a play. Somebody from behind had to grab on Overrocker. It was Wes Graves, and they dropped him only about 1.5 yards short of a first down. 3rd and maybe 2 or 1.5 to go for a first down coming up for the Bulldogs. Another key play here for the Maroon defense.
Well, Overrocker ran into his blocking there, tried to bounce off and get a first down off his blocking, but nice job by the secondary to tackle him as he couldn't slip away.
They're at the 36 of the Maroons now. And they go back to the I formation of the backfield this time. And Hunt will keep it. He's got an opening right side. He has the first down, puts his head down before he's brought down by Earl and someone else, but about a 5-yard pickup on that option right. They move quickly with that football, and they don't give you much time. You got to make the tackle quickly, or you're going to give up 5 yards at a pop. And now timeout taken by the Clinton defense. All right, Chuck Nagel's moving out in the field to talk things over with this team. We'll take timeout also here. We're in the second quarter of play. We're down to 6 minutes, just a little over 6 minutes to go, near the halfway point of the second quarter of play. St. Teresa has the football, and they lead 14-7.
Before or after the Clinton Maroons game, visit Clinton Subway for your favorite sub sandwich, complete with all the fixins. Open 24 hours a day, Subway's friendly crew is always on hand to satisfy even the most ferocious hunger with a wide assortment of delicious sandwiches and salads, chips, cookies, and your favorite soft drinks. Stop in at Clinton Subway, located at 511 East Van Buren, and check out their menu of breakfast items. Subway, a proud sponsor of the Clinton Maroons.
Mike Craig is our sideline reporter tonight. Mike, what do we got to do defensively to slow down this attack by St. Teresa? Can you tell down there?
Boy, from this side here, Larry, I don't think they're tackling the quarterback on the option. I think they're kind of keying on Overrocker a bunch, and I think the quarterback's faking so well to the fullback that he's just keeping the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think they pitched yet, have they?
I don't think they have. I think you're right. Well, you know, when you got a running back the caliber of Overrocker, you've got to cover him, though. You've got to make sure he's not going to go with the football.
Right. Every time, but one of these times you're going to have to stop the quarterback.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Hunt's a good one. He's done well running that football and throwing it so far in this ball game. They've got a 1st and 10. He'll pitch it to Overrocker. They've got some good blocking out front. He goes around the left corner. He's got another blocker out front. And they finally run him out of bounds inside the 20 near the 17-yard line. And that should be another first down, about a 13-yard pickup on the play, or 12 or so, for Overrocker. And St. Teresa continuing this drive. They're down near the 17-yard line with another 1st and 10. Joe?
Well, once again, they just handed off to Overrocker. He's gotten the ball 14 times now in just under a half of play, and they just tried to run to the left side there with some success as they bounced it off the tackle.
You can tell he's a guy that wants the football, though. He's the lone back in the backfield. They got wide receivers both ways. On 1st and 10 from near the 17-yard line. He gets a call. Nope, excuse me, he didn't. But this time Hunt is covered on the play. Boy, I thought he gave it to him that time, but Hunt kept the football. But that time the Maroons covered it pretty well. Did we make a little adjustment that time, Mike, and stay with the quarterback?
Well, he hides the ball awful well. He sticks it right in his belly and hides it. But, yeah, there was only the one back that time.
Mike, you're cutting out, bud. I don't know what we can do about it, but you're cutting out a little bit, and it was hard to hear the last part of your comment. They lost a yard on the play, 2nd and 11 coming up now for St. Teresa. Hunt will give it to Overrocker deep in the backfield, but he's got an opening up the middle, and he spins it all the way down close to the 10-yard line before the Maroons grab him from behind. Wes Graves, Jeff Wilson, Bob Igems were all there to make the tackle, but he got that 1-yard loss plus about another 6 yards, almost 7 back. They've got 3rd and about 3.5 coming up from just outside the 10-yard line of the Maroons.
Once again, it's just straight up the middle, running between the tackles. And Overrocker just got off the blocks quickly as the blocking did well. and 8 yards, and that's about the average of what he's been getting on this
If
drive.
they give him any kind of hole, he's through it in a hurry, and they'll try to quick pitch it and go right side. Another hole. He's inside the 10. 5. Touchdown for Overrocker and St. Teresa. He made it look easy on that one, didn't he, Joe? A 10-yard gallop into the end zone. And now the Bulldogs lead by 2 touchdowns by a score of 20-7 over the Maroons. This happening here in the second quarter of play.
Well, they just bounced it outside off the right tackle, and it was good block off in the secondary by Wilkes as he kind of freed up Overrocker on that run. And after that block, he kind of bounced it up inside, and nobody was there to make the tackle.
They'll try the kick for the extra point again. Here's a snap. Placement's down. Kick looks good from here. And it is good for Andy Cox of St. Teresa. So they have a 2-touchdown lead on the Maroons now at the 4:45 mark to go in the second quarter of play. We'll take break. Our score is Decatur St. Teresa 21 and Clinton 7.
Quality, value, and service. That's what you'll find at Ace Hardware and Gift Shop in Clinton. Let us help you find exactly what you're looking for in paints, hardware, and power tools. All your lawn and garden accessories with great buys on gas grills and mowers. From plumbing supplies and fixtures to all your electrical needs, we've got you covered. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, visit our unique gift shop for a great selection of everything from dinnerware to lead crystal and porcelain figurines. Remember, Ace is the place in Clinton with the helpful hardware folks.
On the last kickoff, Ryan Conley took it inside the 10-yard line and almost broke it all the way. It was cut down near midfield. The Maroons weren't able to capitalize on that good return. But now they hope to get another good return. Bob Igems ran one back last week. Here's Urbanowicz's kick. That will be taken by Igems this time at about the 9. Looking for the wedge out front. Looks like they got it pretty bottled up, but he's still on his feet, still trying to move forward. Grabbed from behind and drug down near the 30-yard line. Not a bad return, all things considered. The Maroons will start 1st and 10 from near their own 30-yard line this time.
Well, once he got in that bundle of players up the middle, he really couldn't do nothing but just try to find a hole and weave his way. But when he was trying to pick his path, he just got caught from behind.
The Maroons got the ball once at the 35 of St. Teresa and were able to capitalize on field position that time and take it in for a touchdown. This time they start at their own 30 and see if they can move it. Sams will try to run with it. Breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet. Goes out of bounds hard at the 39-yard line as he ends up way behind the Clinton players on the bench as 2 St. Teresa players belled him out of bounds there.
Well, I think Nate did a good job there. He bounced it outside, got it about 9.
Yeah,
and
very close to a first down.
I thought it was pretty close to a late hit by St. Teresa's. They had 2 or 3 guys get Nate when he was on the sideline.
Well, they certainly made sure that he was out of bounds once they got him out of there. But it brings up, after, as you said, a 9-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and short. Maroons had one of these earlier and weren't able to convert on 2nd or 3rd or I think 4th down. Conley's going to try it around the right corner, gets the first down, puts his shoulder down, goes out of bounds near the 45. And, yep, that's where the officials will spot it, right about the 45, just across the 45. So that's a quick 6-yard gain or so and a first down for the Maroons.
As they, once again, they tried to run right off that big right side. Casey Hicks and Dave Limmel did a nice job blocking well for him, and the wide receiver out there did a nice job as well. It freed up Connolly as he went around the end and had a nice job getting to the sidelines for first down.
Maroons have 3 in the backfield this time, but Sams is going to keep it. He's met, almost struck down, but gets away, stays on his feet. He's going to get some yardage out of this. And there's a flag thrown, a couple of flags thrown on St. Teresa as they had some late hits on that. Nate got away from the initial tackler on the play, Tony Morstader, and that guy was one of the guys that dove in on the pile. And his frustration after Nate got away, he came from behind and jumped on the pile at the end, and that's one of the reasons why the flags were thrown.
Well, the referees are just going to try to do everything they can from keeping this game from going out of hand, and they want to get all those late hits, cheap shots, whatever you want to call them, penalized so that to keep the players from keep on doing those type of penalties.
Mike, from your vantage point down there in the sideline, you weren't too far away from there. No doubt about that. That was certainly a late hit, wasn't it? Well, I can't hear him right now. Do you have your equipment turned on there, Michael? Well, maybe. Yeah, we're having a little trouble with that. We're so nice 2 weeks ago. Here are the Maroons on 1st and 10 after the penalty. Wilson gets a call. Gets about 4 yards up the middle. The penalty moved the ball inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line when they marked it off from where the infraction took place. So the Maroons, after about almost we'll call it a 4-yard gain on first down, have 2nd and 6 coming up. Mike, you got the thing working now?
I think it's on, Larry.
What about that? There was no doubt that was a late hit. It looked like frustration on the part of St. Teresa when Sam's got away.
Yeah, I don't think he liked that Nate twisting away from him like that.
And they paid the price with the penalty here on 2nd and 6. Clinton with the ball. Sam's finally gets the pitch away from Conley. Can he get away? He's caught from behind. Oh, this might be a late hit on the play.
I think it's roughing the passer.
What's that?
I think it's roughing the passers. The linebacker came and hit Nate after he had pitched the ball.
They threw it right where Nate Sams was laying. The guys here in the booth said they thought it might be a holding call against the Maroons, but they threw it right where Nate was laying, with one of the St. Teresa players on top of him. Mike, can you tell what the call is going to be down there?
Yeah, I think they had another personal foul. I believe the tackler might have took a shot at Nate when he was on the ground.
Craig Kramer, who's a junior, 5'9", 195 pounds, is the player that was on top of Nate Sams right after Nate pitched the ball to Conley. Well, maybe not right after. It might have been a little bit longer than right after, and that's the reason why the flag was thrown. So there is a 15-yard penalty, another one here on St. Teresa. Now, where's that ball going to go? They should get more yardage than that, shouldn't they? I guess it was back here. So from the spot, well, I couldn't remember where the spot was. That was the problem, though. So the ball is at the 27-yard line, and is it a first down or not? They've got first down over there. Now, wait a second. The officials are holding up play for a moment as they check things, but I think it is a first down. That's the way it's going to stand. So the Maroons have a first down on the penalty at the 27 of St. Teresa after that personal foul penalty. And Connolly will get the call. Gets it down to about the 25-yard line. Again, he's caught from behind and drugged down around the ankles. And a gain of about 2. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Maroons as they move it deeper into St. Teresa territory, down to about the 25-yard line.
Once again, very stupid penalties, I think, have hurt both teams. The Maroons had a rough late hit call on them the first drive for St. Teresa, and now St. Teresa has back-to-back calls on that, and they're allowing the Maroons to go down the field on those penalties.
We're just inside 3 minutes ago in the half. Clinton is trailing 21-7 to St. Teresa. But Clinton with the ball, and here's a flag thrown after the snap of the football, but they blow things dead. That doesn't look good for the Maroons, but we'll wait and see what the call is here. The officials meet out in the middle of the field, looking for the preliminary sign. Offsides, Clinton. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 2nd and 13 coming up for the Maroons, back near the 30-yard line.
Well, you get the yards off the penalties and then give them right back with that call.
This Maroon drive started at the 30-yard line. It's had a couple of personal foul calls along the way on St. Teresa. But the Maroons have moved it some on this drive themselves also. And they've got it to the 30 of St. Teresa on a 2nd and 13. Sands wants to throw. He's got Igems flying down the right sideline. Igems going up for the ball. It's out of bounds as it was intercepted by St. Teresa, but out of bounds with the football. And it'll be an incomplete pass. They had a man in front that made the pick, but went out of bounds when he came down with the ball. It looked like, I'll have to double check who that was. Brinkhotter had the ball, but I think he took it away from the guy that made the interception down there because I don't think the linebacker was covering Igems on that play. It'll come back as 3rd and 13.
But Nate did a good job there as he stepped up, and he knew he was going to get hit hard by one of their linebackers, but he still delivered the ball, and it was almost there.
3rd and 13. Igems made every effort he could to come down with the football. Throws a short one over the head of Schumacher and everybody else, and it goes incomplete. And 4th and 13 coming up now for the Maroons. Nate had plenty of time to throw that time. He had time to look over the field and try to pick somebody out. He finally picked out Schumacher coming across the middle.
They tried to run a crossing pattern over the middle once again. They ran to the left side from the right side, and then I think Nate just rushed the pass a little bit there.
With 2:20 to go before halftime, here's a big play. Maroons trailing by 2 touchdowns. They need to score. And it's 4th down and 13. Schumacher and Igems wide to the left-hand side. Nate Sams rolling out left, has blocking, has time, has his pass deflected, and it goes down incomplete. And coming through the middle for St. Teresa and getting his hand on the ball was John O'Donohue. He's a 5'10", 175-pound senior, and he knocked down that pass. It was intended to go over the middle to somebody, probably Schumacher, and it goes incomplete, and St. Teresa will take over.
It was kind of a disheartening play for the Maroons as Nate had a guy wide open. Just a good play by Donahue, is that?
Yep, Donahue.
Donahue.
That's who I saw.
He did a nice job there breaking up the pass before any play could have developed, before Schumacher might have been able to break one for first down.
Now the Bulldogs have some time to move the football, so the Maroons still got to play some defense here. Hunt calling something out at the line of scrimmage. Now under center, waiting to snap. Long call here, has the football. He'll pitch it to Overrocker. Overrocker trying the right-hand side. Maroons spread it out a little bit. He's still on his feet, though, and he gets it across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, about a 7-yard pickup on the play, but that'll keep the clock running as we get down near the 2-minute mark. Just about 2 minutes to go before halftime. Clinton is trailing to St. Teresa 21-7 at this point.
Well, it looked like Hunt got to the line, saw something he didn't like. He audibleized out to a right sweep by Overrocker, and it paid dividends for St. Teresa.
They're closer to the 38-yard line, and it's 2nd and 2. Hunt will take the handoff to one man to give it to Overrocker. The Maroons had him surrounded. He still stays on his feet, and now they'll swarm him under. No gain on the play. They had a couple of chances to drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but the Maroons are doing a lot better job game tackling even after they missed that first tackle or so. And St. Teresa's not running quite as wild as Monticello did last week. St. Teresa will take a timeout. Let's take a timeout also. We're in the last 2 minutes of this first half of play. St. Teresa leads 21-7. Back with more in a moment.
Sitting out here, I can't hardly see the clock. A minute 31.
Third down and 2 for St. Teresa. They'll send a man in motion. Campbell coming across, and then the Maroons jump, but was there a reason why David Lemmel came firing across the line of scrimmage? I think St. Teresa might have moved there. Let's wait and see. Procedure penalty against St. Teresa. That'll push him back 5 yards. That's good news.
That's a big call for the Maroons there. If they can stop St. Teresa now on this 3rd and long, they can set up maybe a potential scoring drive as there is enough time left on the clock for the Maroons to get a score. As there's over a minute remaining, maybe they can get a stop here.
About a minute and a half to go in our first half of play. We're having to look around the telephone pole. It's hard to see the last digit on the scoreboard from time to time. On 3rd and 8 now, Hunt rolling out left. Going to look downfield and try to throw. He's got time. Now he tries to cut back, slips. Earl grabs him from behind. He throws up for grabs. A lineman was there, started to reach up forward. And that ball wasn't really anywhere near a receiver, but they're just going to say it's an incomplete pass. So good pursuit by the Maroons. So Brad Earl was the man that had a hold of Hunt as he tried to throw that pass.
Well, officially they said he was trying to pass to Wilkes, but all he had out there was a lineman. So
yeah, Wilkes was 15 yards upfield at least trying to come back, but he was a long way away.
That was pretty close to a grounding call. It would have been a covered sack for the Maroons. The coverage did a good job on the wide receiver.
Maroons are setting up the return, not going for the block here. Let's see if they can get some kind of return. It's a low line drive kick, and Igems is going to have to let it roll, and they're not going to get a return out of this. It dribbles down close to the 32-yard line where St. Teresa downs it. So Clinton will start at their own 32-yard line, and I'll try to see the clock. I can't see around the pole. There's a minute and what? 13. Minute 13 to go. Thank you, Bud. You're running the scoreboard. You should know how much time's remaining. A minute 13. Thanks. Doug Neuschwander in the crowd tells me it's a minute and 13 remaining. Doug's one of those guys who brings the Walkman and listens while he watches the game because he doesn't understand football. So we can spell it out to him. 1st and 10, sorry, Doug, at the 32-yard line. Sam's on the option, has a hole, brings it up across the 35, 40, 45, and goes down, but he stays in bounds, but he's close to midfield, and they'll stop the clock to move up the markers. And the Maroons, I think, have at least 1, maybe 2 timeouts remaining that they can use here, Joe. And they're just short of midfield with a 1st and 10.
They did a nice job there. They ran the option right, and Nate hasn't got to carry the ball a lot here, as the Maroons haven't had a lot of plays offensively.
Trips to the left side as they start the clock. Sams, with the blocking out front by Wilson, has time to throw, pops it over the middle. Oh, off the hands of Conley. It was thrown behind him a little bit and goes incomplete out about the 37-yard line. That one very close to a completion, but Conley couldn't reach back quite far enough to pull that one in cleanly.
Yeah, it was a little behind him as once again Conley came out of the backfield, ran into the middle, and kind of a crossing pattern over the middle. Nate just threw a little bit behind him.
With 44 seconds to go before halftime, Clinton trailing 21-7. They're at their own 48.5-yard line. They'll have 2nd and 10. Sam's with a split backfield this time. Short drop. Looking to fly pattern for Igems down the sideline. Battle for the ball, and again, it's intercepted, but out of bounds. Incomplete will be the call. As St. Teresa again, Josh Wilkes this time got his hands on the football and came down with it. It was a couple of feet out of bounds, and so it goes as an incomplete pass.
St. Teresa's doing a nice job of coverage. They have obviously scouted the Maroons and have found out that Igems and Schumacher are their key wide receivers, as they are putting safeties on the outside downfield on Igems, and it was a good read by Wilkes as he was standing right where Nate was about ready to pass the ball.
The Maroons still have time, but they need to get a first down here. And they'll try a draw up the middle. Wilson, he's grabbed from behind and ridden down after about a 5-yard gain. That'll keep the clock running unless the Maroons stop it here. And they're going to line up. They have a 4th down and 5. They got a decision to make. They're at the 46 of St. Teresa.
I think
they're going to let the clock run out, I think, here.
I think it was a nice play call by the Maroons. They're trying to catch St. Teresa off guard with the run up the middle, and one more bounce off an initial tackle, and Wilson would have had the first down.
Well, they started up to the line of scrimmage, but the clock's down to about 10 seconds to go, and now I think they're going to let the clock run out. They're going to let it run down real low here and maybe use a timeout. They'll use a timeout. How much time's remaining, guys? I can't see the clock. 3 seconds. He ran it down to 3, and we'll keep it here. Well, that's kind of interesting. We didn't hurry up there to do anything, but of course it was a 4th down. And I guess the main thing is, if you don't get that first down on a 4th and 4, you don't want to give St. Teresa one last crack. You want to have the last shot of the first half, right?
Yes, I think that's definitely the strategy here. Is I don't see why they would wait to waste it down 3 seconds then punt. I think they're definitely going to go for it here and try to maybe break a big pass, or maybe try to catch him off guard with another run.
Mike, run out there in the huddle and find out what they're going to do for us, okay?
Yeah, I wish I knew. I bet St. Teresa does, too. I would imagine they're just going to try to run the clock out, because they probably had the 24-second clock pretty close, didn't they?
I'm not sure how close it was. Like I said, from where I'm sitting, part of the clock's behind the pole, and I can't see it real well. I think they're going to throw it up here and try to make something happen. They'd like to be down by only 1 touchdown going into the locker room, not 2.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't think it can stop on a defensive penalty either, can it?
On a defensive penalty, they'll get one more play if we have a defensive penalty. Here's Sams dropping back to pass under some pressure, and he's tripped and brought down. He was still looking for somebody, and nobody could seem to get open. Schumacher and Igens were the only guys going deep, and I think he was looking for Schumacher, but they had him pretty well covered. And Sams is sacked on the play back in midfield, and that's the way this first half will end. Well, the Maroons will have to do some work, make some changes in the locker room at halftime, because they're down by 2 touchdowns as we take break at halftime. Our score, and we'll be back with our halftime report for you in just a moment, is Decatur St. Teresa 21, the Clinton Maroons 7. Well, he's a nice young man from a nice family, and you know, his family moved to Indiana several years ago, but Chad's back in the area, and even though he's not here at Clinton, it's good to see him down at St. Teresa, and we want to wish him very well. Here's the kickoff by St. Teresa. Igens takes it just inbounds. Now, he ran one back that looked just like this earlier this year against St. Teresa. Can he do it? They've got him pretty well surrounded. He gets it out to about the 26 or 27-yard line before he's brought down. He just wasn't able to get it toward the middle of the field far enough. They forced him back to the sideline and brought him down. So the Maroons will have the ball first to start the second half of play, and let's see if the offense can get something going, Joe.
Yes, they have to go to the running game. They have to try to grind some clock out, even though they're behind. I mean, St. Teresa's had the ball most of the game, and if you give them another quick stop here, then it's playing right into them.
Somehow you got to get some kind of sustained drive going. Sams is going to carry on first down. He's grabbed from behind, but gets it out to close to the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Running to the short side of the field. Not a lot of room to work with out there. But he did get a gain of at least 3 yards or so on the play. I think 2nd and 7 will be coming up.
Well, St. Teresa's doing a nice job on that option right, of just stringing Nate out to the sideline and not giving him much downfield yardage. They're just making him run sideways, and he's running out of room on the field and is going out of bounds.
Igens is going wide to the left side. I formation in the backfield. The 2 usual guys, Wilson, who gets the call. He's got a hole right-hand side. Then they close it fairly quickly, but not till he got almost 5 yards on the play. He's close to the 35-yard line, so the Maroons on a couple of running plays will have a 3rd down and about 2 coming up. So big 3rd down conversion here on the opening drive of the second half coming up for Clinton at their own 35-yard line.
Once again, they tried to run right off Casey and Dave over there on that right side, and they gave Jeff Wilson some running room.
Sam's under center, has the football quickly, gives it to Wilson. He's got the first down, and more, still on his feet. Overrocker grabs him, and will tackle him near the 46-yard line as they gang tackle and shove him back. But he did get forward progress. They're going to give him to the 47-yard line. I was just worried that maybe the ball would pop loose, but he held on to it. Overrocker, I think, was trying to strip it out of his hands, but Jeff did a nice job and held on to it.
Yeah, Jeff did a very nice job. It was a quick trap up the middle. Ross Wantland put a good hole over center, and Jeff Wilson was only holding on to the ball with one hand. That's all he could do, and Overrocker was trying to get the ball with both hands, and Jeff did a nice job of holding on to it.
First down for the Maroons here on their opening drive of the second half. They trail 21-7 as we start the 3rd quarter of play to St. Teresa. Sams is going to run, straight run, gets around the right corner, hurdles a man, goes out of bounds hard, but not till he gets to about the 43-yard line, and that's about a 10-yard pickup and very close to a first down. The chains are on the far side of the field, so they'll mark the ball and then look across the field, see if they can eyeball it for a first down, and they say it is a first down. And Mike Craig, this is a good opening drive for the Maroons. I don't know if you can hear us right now, but if you can, they're off to a great start here in the third quarter so far, running the football.
Yeah, Nate, he's stringing it right along the line of scrimmage, and if they're not taking him, he's running it.
He's got him up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. They're not taking much time in the huddle. Wilson gets the call up the middle, bounces off some tacklers. Then they grab him by the shirt sleeve and throw him back, so not much gain on that particular play. Last week, Mike, at Monticello, we seemed to suffer quite a few injuries, at least leg cramps, and then, of course, we had, like Ryan Conley shook up with a bit of a concussion. But so far tonight, you've been down there by the bench. Have you seen anybody come off the field hobbling? I haven't noticed. I haven't seen anybody from either team even act like they even got a little bit of a nick. I mean, it's cool tonight. You're not going to have no cramping, I wouldn't think, with the way the weather is. They're keeping plenty of fluids in them, and they look pretty good so far. Well, if you notice anything, keep us posted. On second down now and 9, Sams wants to throw, looking for a man deep, but Stez has to throw a short pass, and it's broken up incomplete, and Sams was hit at the time he unloaded that ball. I glanced downfield. I think he was looking for Igems deep initially, but it goes as an incomplete pass, and now it's third down and 9, so here's another big play coming up for the Maroons.
Well, Nate saw Igems open, and it did appear to be open, but the safety was sneaking across, and Nate, I think, caught that, so he just threw it away underneath.
I think he was trying to get it in the vicinity of Wilson, but it went as an incomplete pass. Third and 9 now. On the split backfield, short pass, Schumacher, hook and ladder, gets to the Conley, but they read it, knocked it out of his hands, loose ball, and they've got the recovery. Somebody read it well, they were ready for it, and they grabbed Conley right after he got the football and jarred it loose, and they've got the recovery at the 41-yard line, and I didn't pick up exactly who it was that read it, but St. Teresa obviously has scouted the Maroons well. They have seen the hook and ladder used a couple previous games by the Maroons with success, and they made the play, and they got the turnover, the first turnover of the ball game, I believe.
Yes, I think safety man Josh Wilkes came up on that play, jarred the ball loose from Conley after the Maroons tried the hook and ladder plays. He did a nice job. He saw Conley with the ball. He just put his hand out there and knocked it away from him.
I don't know if they would have got the first down anyway. Certainly not when he was tackled on the play. Here's the keeper by Hunt on the option left, and he's got close to a first down yardage. Just Lemmel has to chase him all the way down from behind, along with Nate Sams to make the tackle. But he is very close to a first down near midfield, and they're going to stop the clock and measure it for a moment. He's into Maroon territory to the 49-yard line. So the Maroons had a good opening drive going, but it was cut down on the fumble on the hook and ladder attempt by the Maroons. And now St. Teresa on their first play get a quick 10 yards, and we'll see if they get the first down here on the measurement. Yeah, it is, by almost the entire length of the football. Enough of it was across the marker to give them the first down. So they're at the 49 of the Maroons, first and 10 for St. Teresa. And the defense, which has given up 3 touchdowns so far in the ball game to St. Teresa, has to try to slow them down here.
Once again, they ran out of the basic I formation, and Hunt does a nice job as he disguises the ball well and just ran up the middle.
We're early in the third quarter of play. St. Teresa leads 21-7. Hunt fakes the handoff to Overrocker, now throws the pass, got an open man, a completion at the 45, down to the 40, and inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. That's the first time they have thrown to Nick Boehm, a 6'1", 180-pound junior tight end who's in the ball game. And he got the first down all the way down close to the 35-yard line. Another first down for St. Teresa.
Boehm did a nice job as he's the tight end on that play. He came off the line of scrimmage, just sat down in a hole. I didn't see any linebackers covering, so it was just a wide-open pass to him. And the secondary did a nice job coming up, making an open field tackle, though.
But not till after good first down yardage for St. Teresa. At the 36-yard line, we'll call it. Hunt dropping back to pass, has time, steps up in the pocket, throws it deep downfield. Igens is near there, but the receiver makes a good adjustment and catches the pass. Wilkes in the end zone for the touchdown. Igens got turned around a little bit. Wilkes was going the wrong way, but he somehow made the adjustment, turned around, came back, and caught the football, as that ball was not on the money by any means. It was thrown behind him, but it hung up there in the air long enough that he could make the adjustment and makes the pass catch for the touchdown.
Well, Hunt did a nice job as he did throw it behind Wilkes, but he put it up in the air, as you said, long enough for Wilkes to get underneath it. And Hunt was under a little bit of pressure there. He still got the ball off, and he gave Wilkes a chance to catch it. And it was a good pattern as he just ran basically just about down the field.
Here's the extra point attempt. Their fourth of the game, and they're 4 for 4. Timeout on the field, 8:27 to go in the third quarter of play. And St. Teresa has up their lead to 3 touchdowns over our Clinton Maroons. We'll take break with the score, St. Teresa 28, the Clinton Maroons 7.
Pain pills are a common thing with people who feel they have no place left to turn. Pills for your backaches, for that headache, pills for your sinuses. You've been to your doctor. He doesn't know what else to do. so you keep on taking pills. But pills don't have to be a part of your life, and neither does pain. Your backache or headache can be relieved without surgery and without drugs. At the Allen Chiropractic Health Clinic in Clinton, Dr. Harold Allen will diagnose the cause of your pain. And once you find the cause, you can usually find the cure. Pain is not normal. Something can be done about it. Call the Allen Chiropractic Health Clinic at 935-6842. We relieve pain.
So a 36-yard pass from quarterback John Hunt, and a nice pass catch on the part of split end Josh Wilkes, who's a junior. They've got a lot of juniors on this football team, and Chuck Nagel talked about it 2 years ago. He said when this was the freshman class, people at St. Teresa were excited. They thought it was their best freshman group they had ever brought into St. Teresa. Here's the kickoff by the Maroons. Conley still fighting for yardage, gets it up across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and that's where Clinton will start on this offensive series. And so far, this class that as freshmen 2 years ago has now gone through a freshman, sophomore, and now starting a junior season, they are proving out pretty well so far.
They have looked pretty impressive, and one big thing about this game right now is St. Teresa has been able to pass the ball efficiently, and right now Clinton has not, as St. Teresa's done a nice job in coverage.
First and 10 for the Maroons at their own 31. Sams fakes the handoff, drops back. He's under pressure, and he's not going to get away. He's going to be sacked on the play. Back to about the 26 or 27-yard line as he falls back forward. But St. Teresa had good penetration that time, and that's one of the few times we've seen Nate Sams sacked on a play this year. Two men combining as Matt Urbanowitz, the guy that does their kicking also, that plays on that defensive line, and he got help from Nick Boehm.
Yes, Boehm got in there, and that's the second sack on Nate. They had that coverage sack at the end of half where Kramer got to him, but that was kind of cheap, but that one was legit.
Second and 15, Sam's quick pass to Ijones. Gets away from the initial tackler, gets it upfield to about the 35-yard line. So there's a gain of about 8 yards on the play, maybe a little bit more as they're going to give him beyond the 35, almost to the 36-yard line. So the Maroons, on that quick pass play, will have a 3rd down and 6 situation coming up at their own 35. They've got to get it to about the 42.
Well, right now I think how St. Teresa is playing the passing game so well is their cornerbacks are really tight on the line of scrimmage, and they're really overplaying the quick passes.
They had trips to the left-hand side. Sams throws it over the middle to Conley, and he was hit about the time the ball was arriving by Shane Overrocker. Conley says no penalty flag, and a lot of people here in the Clinton crowd wanting a flag, but no flag is thrown. I don't think that ball was going to be catchable again. St. Teresa's doing a terrific job on their pass coverage tonight.
I agree with you. I don't think it was a catchable ball. It looked like it was going to hit Connolly in the feet. But
well, we'll ask Mike here in a moment. He maybe had a little better angle looking at it down the field, but let's watch Nate Sams punt first of all. And Wilkes is the deep man at his own 35. Sams under pressure, has it blocked. It carries all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Sams giving chase, dives on the football, and St. Teresa's going to have it at about the 3-yard line, I believe. No, wait a second. They're pointing in the direction of Clinton, but we'll wait and see. But they have blocked the punt, and the ball recovered by Nate Sams, and of course, yes, now they turn it around, and that's the way it should be. St. Teresa will have the ball at the 3-yard line. That's the first time Sams has been blocked this year, and St. Teresa is doing everything right tonight.
Well, they sent a full-out blitz on the punter right there. You can do that with the luxury of a 3-touchdown lead, and they did get to Nate there, and Nate did a nice job. He hustled all the way down there to get the ball, so St. Teresa just didn't have a score there, which he might easily could have done, but he didn't give up.
So they're near the 3-yard line on a 1st and goal, the Bulldogs are. Hunt sends a man in motion from right to left, has an I formation behind him, now has the football. I think he kept the, no, he did. He did give it to the fullback, and the Maroons swarming under quickly. And drop him for a loss on the play. Yep, that was Brinkotter who got the football. I thought Hunt was going to fake it and keep it, but Brinkotter came out of there, and he lost a yard or two on the play, and one of the guys I saw come out of the pile on the tackle for the Maroons was wearing 44, and I'm not absolutely sure who that is. They've got Rob Smith listed in the program, and I also thought Trimble wore 44 from time to time also, so we'll have to double check on that. From the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal. Hunt will give it to Overrocker. Puts his head down, tries the middle. He might have got the yardage back on the 1st down play, but the Maroons playing pretty good goal line defense, kind of down near the 4 or 3-yard line, so 3rd and goal will be coming up for St. Teresa.
They've tried both times to run up the middle. That time they had more success than the first time. But if the Maroons can clog it up in the middle there and St. Teresa keeps trying to run up the middle, they can maybe make a stop and force either a field goal or, well, more realistically, probably fourth down try for St. Teresa.
Mike, have they gone back to a 5-man front on defense there?
Yeah, down here on the line of scrimmage, they even got 6 on the line of scrimmage.
3rd and goal from near about the 3.5. Quick pitch. Oberrocker trying the right-hand side. Cuts it up the field. Sees an opening and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. About a 4-yard run, we'll call it, for another touchdown. Oberrocker's second of the ball game. And now St. Teresa has it up to 34-7 over the Maroons. And they're starting to make it look easy on offense out there. Of course, the block punt set that one up. They had it at the 3-yard line. It took them 3 plays to get it in from the 3, but they're able to get the score.
Well, that was your typical sweep as they just ran it wide right out there. It was a good lead block as I think Brinkotter finished off the linebacker that tried to fill the gap, and Overrocker just went in untouched to the end zone.
Another extra point attempt coming up for Andy Cox. Gets the boot away, and that one missed it to the right-hand side. He pushed it wide to the right, no good. Timeout on the field here with 5:35 to go in quarter number 3, and St. Teresa has opened up a 34-7 lead over right now. They scored their touchdown with 3:32 to go in the first quarter of play, and they haven't scored since then. And we're down to 5:35 to go in the third. So we've gone almost 2 full quarters without a score, Joe. And this is a team that came into this ball game averaging 35 points a game, over 40 in their last 3 ball games. Let's get some points.
Well, this was my main concern. We knew the Maroons could move the ball, but when they play such a good defense as St. Teresa, you know,
we look out of sync out there. While you're talking, the Maroons bobbled the kickoff, a real short bounding kick up the middle, and they lost about 5 yards kind of fighting over the football and kicked it out behind them. Unfortunately, the Maroons recovered the ball, but they're going to start at their own 27. Go ahead with your thought.
Well, I just want to finish on that one. They had about five guys where the ball just squirted loose there, but as you said, the Maroons look out of sync, and the defense is really just not giving the Maroons anything.
Sams is going to try to throw on first down, it appears. Rolls out left, fires it downfield, and overshoots Jamie Queer, diving for the ball on the left sideline. Nate just hasn't been able to find his receivers in this ball game. It doesn't look like he's throwing the ball all that badly, but St. Teresa is covering so well that, I mean, he's having to try to thread the needle, and it's difficult for him to find enough opening to get the ball in their hands.
Well, it's almost like St. Teresa has like 2 defenders on every wide receiver. I mean, their coverage has been so close and uptight, they can't find an open man.
A 2nd down and 10. They missed the handoff. Wilson does not get the ball. Sams comes up with it, and he's going to get some positive yardage out of it. And he's very close to a first down. Boy, was that a broken play. I tell you, we just look very, very out of sync right now. And at that time, you know, Wilson went by him and turned around and said, hey, wait a second, I didn't get the football. And Nate did the next best thing. He ran with it, and he got pretty close to a first down. We're going to be very fortunate to get a first down out of this if we do.
Well, they tried to look like run a trap up the middle there, and just a bad connection between Nate and Jeff. And Jeff didn't get the ball. Nate saw he didn't get it, so he just ran it right up the middle. And as you said, the Maroons just kind of look out of sync. Got guys wandering around out there, and I don't know. They, you know, if Nate doesn't make a good heads-up play on that, they're looking at a 3rd and long situation once again.
Well, instead it's 3rd and very short, 3rd and about 6 inches for the Maroons. But they've had difficulty converting some of these earlier in this ballgame. We'll see what they do. 3rd down and just inches. Sam's quarterback keeper, he's got the first down and more. Beyond the 40, just beyond the 40-yard line. So the Maroons get the first down as we move later into the 3rd quarter of play. St. Teresa has scored 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter of play, and they lead 34-7 right now. But now the Maroons trying to get some kind of drive going.
There was a good push up the middle there, and Dave Lummel really keyed the block. I think that's the guy that Nate ran behind, and Nate just picked up the first down easily behind Dave.
So 1st and 10 from near their own 40-yard line for Clinton. Sams hands it off. It's Wilson. He's got a little bit of an opening. Got 4 yards before he's cut down then by the linebackers and the secondary guys, and those linemen coming from behind chasing him down. Got it out to about the 44-yard line. 2nd and 6 coming up.
And the Maroons haven't had a lot of offensive plays, but when they have, Jeff Wilson's been the main carrier tonight, not Ryan Connolly, and he might still be feeling the effects from his injury last week.
On 2nd down and 6 now for the Maroons as they approach midfield. Sam short pop. Got it to his man, Shane Van Fossen, staying on his feet, making a nice run. He's very close to a first down. He's cut down near the midfield stripe. And let's see if they give him enough forward progress for the first down. I think he's going to be, again, about 6 inches short like we were the last time. Nope, it is a first down. All right. Good job by Shane. He made a heck of a catch against Monticello last week back in the 2nd quarter that set up the touchdown, and that time makes a nice, easy catch, so to speak. But a good run for the additional yardage to get the first down that time.
that was a nice play by Shane as he looked like he ran just to where he needed to get the first down, just sat down and found a hole in St. Teresa.
And that was a nice, short, high-percentage pass by Sams, too. Here's Sams on the option right running with the football and gets 3 or 4 yards to about the 46 of St. Teresa. King keeps this drive going in the right direction as the Maroons will have a second down, and we'll call it about 6, almost 7 coming up as they get to the 46-yard line. Conley and Wilson still in the backfield. It's Jeff Wilson with Ryan Conley behind him. St. Teresa's kept Conley under wraps in this ball game. Jamie Queer is wide to the right side. The quick pitch at the Conley to the short side of the field. Gets a block out front. Gets around the corner. 40, 35-yard line. Runs over a couple of men. Wilkes came up to make the tackle, and Conley took him on head on and goes down about the 33-yard line. And Clinton first down. And right as I mentioned, Ryan Conley, they go to him, and he makes a good run on it.
Yes, Conley did a nice job there. It was a wide right sweep. And he hasn't got the ball a lot. That's only his 6th carry, and he's usually in the teens right now. And he really hasn't been able to get on track. St. Teresa's been doing a nice job against him.
On 1st and 10, Sams to Wilson up the middle. Caught from behind, spinning around, stays on his feet, didn't get much yardage at all. The man they had him around the ankles hung on long enough to stop him, Craig Kramer. You know, they don't have a lot of size, St. Teresa. I mean, they've got like 2 guys listed at 200 pounds on their roster. One at 220 in Urbanowitz, and one at 200 in Jeff Layton. And then, you know, several guys in the 190, 195 region, but they're not a huge team, but they're quick. 2nd and 10 for the Maroons. Sams dropping straight back under pressure, has to step up in the pocket, then runs it upfield. Stays on his feet, gets away from a couple of tacklers. He'll be a couple of yards short of a first down near the 25. He definitely wanted to throw. Again, the coverage was there by St. Teresa, forced him to run with the football, and Nate can do that. He can get it upfield when need be, and he got about 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, Nate was heads up there. If he stays back in the pocket, it's a coverage sack. It's once again St. Teresa put a blanket on all the wide receivers out there, and he just ran right up the middle of the field. He saw a lane open for him to run, and he picked up a nice gain of 8 yards.
I want to talk to our sideline man about that. Mike Craig, in just a second, I'll go to him. I think they must have 15 guys out there to be able to cover our men so well. Here's Conley up the middle, has the first down, it appears. What about that, Mike? How can they have such good pass coverage, St. Teresa?
I think it's team speed. They sure do swarm to the football real fast back there. This Wilkes kid really run.
It just seems like when Nate's looking for a receiver, all he can see is white shirts right on our Maroons, and it's almost as if instead of having 11 guys out there, they must have 15. But Conley got the first down on the run up the middle. 22-yard line of St. Teresa. The quick pitch at the Conley. Can he get a block out front? He cuts it upfield. Now trying to get inside or outside of the man. It goes out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Caught from behind and brought down by St. Teresa's secondary man, Andy Cox. But that's very close to another first down. They're going to have to look all the way across the field, and they'll stop the clock and measure. It's a pretty good drive by the Maroons now. They are actually starting to sustain a drive here with a little combination of running and passing, but they're getting the running game going. Clinton trails 34-7 as we're getting late into the 3rd quarter of play. And they're going to measure here to see if the Maroons got the first down on the run by Ryan Conley. The Maroons are out of the huddle already. They wanted to get right up to the line of scrimmage, and now they're skipping rope, jumping over the chain gang as they bring the chain all the way across the field to measure.
Yeah, but one thing the Maroons have shown this year, they might be down, but they're never out. And the key to that play right there, Ryan Conley got to the outside on the right side, and Jeff Wilson threw a tremendous lead block to free him up there, and Conley just bounced inside of that lead block and picked up pretty good yardage on the sweep.
What are we, 6 inches short again, Mike?
Maybe 3.
Really? You were standing right there by it.
Not even half the football. About 2 chain links, it looked like.
Just a few inches to go for another first down. 2nd down and very short for the Maroons coming up.
Short for the Maroon offense.
And they're at about the 11-yard line. Igems is wide to the left side. Schumacher's lined up at the tight end on the right-hand side. Ryan Schumacher has had a ton of catches already this year, but he has, what, just 1 tonight? He's got our only pass catch. Well, I guess we have 3 completions now tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, well.
So he's made 2 tonight.
He's made 2. He's caught 29 in the first 3 games, but only 2 tonight.
First 4 games. Oh, looked like the Maroons fumbled. Picked up by Nate Sams. I don't know if that was planned or not, but Sams is going to go in for the score. I'm not sure what happened there. Mike Craig, you were near it. What happened there?
He dropped the ball, picked it up.
Just that simple, plain and simple. Nate dropped the ball, reached down, picked it up, and then everybody was reacting to the fumble on the ground. He ran it in, picked it up, and ran it to the right front corner of the end zone. 11-yard touchdown run by Nate Sams, and the Maroons had their 2nd score of the game.
Yes, it was a nice job by Nate. A heads up, he dropped the ball, he kept cool. He picked it up, and he saw a nice hole out there on the right side, and nobody was expecting him as they all kind of clogged up in the middle, and nobody was out there to tackle him.
Extra point attempt for Carl Quartz, it appears, coming up here. Snap is to Sands. Placement down. Kick by Quartz on the way. It's through the uprights. Timeout on the field. 1:28 to go in the third quarter of play. The Maroons have closed the gap to 20 points, so they're within 3 touchdowns, still with over a quarter to go. Yeah, I know it sounds like a lot, but don't forget this team puts points on the board. We'll take break. With 1:28 to go into third quarter of play, it's Clinton trailing St. Teresa 34-14.
The Clinton Daily Journal brings hometown news to you Monday through Friday. If you haven't tried the Journal lately, pick up a copy and discover City Council and School Board news, who, what, where, and when, Farm Bureau, YMCA, and library features, up-to-the-minute sports coverage, high-impact classified ads, business and service guides, and much, much more. Call today, 935-3171, to subscribe to your hometown news.
That play for the touchdown maybe wasn't real pretty, but the drive itself was a pretty good drive, and the Maroons move it downfield and get the score, and now trail 34-14. And you know that was a second down and very short. I think Nate was just going to quarterback keep it, and in his I guess hurriedness to get the first down, maybe dropped the football there, but heads up play, picked it up and ran it in.
Yeah, it was a good drive, especially keyed by Nate as he took a couple broken plays and turned them into pretty big gains.
Wilkes will field the bounding kickoff at about the 23, trying to get up the middle field. Good solid tackle by the Maroons at about the 29-yard line or so, and several of the Maroons were there. We saw Van Fossen and Taylor coming off the pile, and Jamie Queer and Ryan Conley in the vicinity, and did a nice job on the coverage that time. A return to the 30-yard line, so St. Teresa will start first and 10 at their own 30. But now the Maroon defense has got to make a stop or force a turnover. Something's got to happen here.
Yeah, it's really got to be a turnover, I think, right now. But, you know, 20 points sounds a lot, but one thing about this Clinton team, you can't give up on them.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line for the Bulldogs of St. Teresa. Overrocker will get the call. Cuts it upfield. Wilson has him. He's still on his feet, though. He gets it out to about the 34, almost the 35-yard line, about a 4 or 5-yard pickup. Mike, at halftime, while we were off the air listening to the interview, you and I were up here in the booth, along with Joe, talking about the way Overrocker carries that football. He has a tendency to kind of hang it out there. I wish somebody could knock it out of his hands.
Well, you think it would. Real easy. He kind of balances himself, flings his arms out there, but he must have strong hands because he sure holds on to it real well.
Yeah, he does kind of use it as a wing to kind of balance himself as he runs, and it works very well for him. He'll get the call again, puts his head down. He stopped at the 35. They blow it dead as the Maroons swarm that one under pretty well. Now, I know he's run for some yardage tonight, but I think the Maroons have done a pretty good job containing him. He's never broken one wide open for a long run for a score in this ball game. He has scored 2 touchdowns, but his touchdown runs have been, 4 yards on that most recent one and a 10-yard run earlier. 3rd and 5 now, so the defense needs to make the stop here. On 3rd and 5 at the 35-yard line, Josh Wilson made the tackle on that last play, by the way. I want to give him credit. And Hunt takes the handoff, rolling out right, looking for a receiver. Has a man there. The ball's underthrown. I don't think he made a catch. Don't give that to him. Oh, my. Oh. I don't think he made the catch on that. I'm very prejudiced, but a diving catch is made at the 46-yard line. Well, I know what Joe thinks. I heard his in the background. Mike, what did it look like to you? Was that a catch?
Boy, it kind of looked like a trap from down here.
Yeah, you're 3/4 of the way across the field from it, though. It's kind of hard for you to tell, absolutely, for sure. Let's take another vote as the third quarter clock runs out. Okay, Doug Neuschwander in the crowd says no way. Phil, what'd you think? The cameraman. It was a catch or a trap? He's saying it was a catch. Whoa, get out of here. Time out at the end of the third quarter of play as the cameraman gets booed out of here. The score is St. Teresa 34, the Maroons 14. Well, officially, Chris Harding is the one that gets credit for making the catch for St. Teresa and giving them a first down at the 46-yard line, their own 46. So St. Teresa keeps the football, keeps the drive alive as they convert on that 3rd and 5 from their own 35-yard line. Hunt wants to throw again. He's got a man wide open over the middle. Catch made by Wilkes. And Schumacher's going to try to catch him from behind. He's down to the 20, 15, 10, and Schumacher makes a diving grab to knock him down about the 5-yard line. Wilkes on the run, a crossing pattern from left to right, caught it over the middle on a nice throw by Hunt, and he looked like he was off to the races. Schumacher trying to keep up with him. Finally caught up with him enough to take him down at the 5-yard line, but now St. Teresa has first and goal, and that catch by Harding looms very big now. I still don't think it was a catch, but I know, I'm prejudiced.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a catch either,
But you're prejudiced, too. You got your Clinton Maroon hat on and everything.
But that was a nice...
sweatshirt.
That was a nice route by...
Maroon pants.
By Wilkes as... he ran a crossing pattern. He beat Schumacher off the line and just caught the ball nicely in the middle of the field.
First and goal at the 5 over Rocker, pushing his man, blocking out front, and follows him into the end zone for the touchdown. And a little more points on the board for the Bulldogs as Overrocker makes his third touchdown run of the night, this time a 5-yard run. And St. Teresa quickly answers the touchdown of the Maroons that was scored, with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter play here early in the fourth quarter play. St. Teresa is now up to the 40-point mark. They lead 40-14.
Well, as most of the plays Overrocker has scored on, Brinketter once again threw an awesome lead block on one of the linebackers. And after that lead block, there was really nobody left to tackle.
Kick for the extra point coming up. On the way, hooking a little bit left, but it got through there before it hooked too far. We'll take another timeout. St. Teresa piling up the points on the Maroons, and they have the healthy lead now. So we'll take a break with the 11:48 to go in the fourth quarter of play. It's 41-14 St. Teresa.
When it's time for retirement, will you be ready? With rising income to stay ahead of inflation, strategies to minimize taxes, cash reserves for unexpected expenses, financial security to enjoy the retirement you deserve. It's never too early to start planning for retirement. Edward D. Jones & Company has the solutions you need. For convenient personal service, call your local investment representative today.
Well, I still can't figure out how St. Teresa loses to Illiopolis in the opener. If anybody's listening down the Illiopolis way, they'll want to come up here and tell me about it, I'm sure. But it's just amazing. They go on, and although they have a decent season, how in the world does Illiopolis beat a team that looks so good every year when we meet them in about the 5th game of the year?
I don't know.
And they beat everybody else along the way, too, not just us.
And St. Teresa's just doing a good overall job defensively, as Kevin Wall just told me that Clinton had more plays in that third quarter than the whole first half.
Ijems, boy, he took a hit, and there's a penalty flag thrown as he finally goes down, and it might be against St. Teresa for a late hit. We'll see. But Ijems, good hard running, took a solid hit over there, but got it out to about the 28-yard line. And then the flag went into the air, and it is a call against who? Come on now, here we go. Face mask against St. Teresa. Took a little while for us to get that signal out of the official, but he gives it to us now, so the Maroons will get pretty good field position to start this drive here early in the fourth quarter of play. Well, Joe, the road doesn't get any better for the Maroons as far as the quality of opponents. Next week we go to, well, Normal, actually. I was going to say Bloomington, but we go to Normal, to the campus of ISU to play on the Hancock Stadium AstroTurf and take on the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints, and they were undefeated going into this weekend's action. They got a big win over Pontiac last week.
Yeah, they do. They beat the defending Class 3A champions, and they look very impressive right now.
They do. Sam stepping up in the pocket, fires the pass, got it to Schumacher. He's grabbed around the ankles and goes down, but he is in the vicinity of a first down. It's about a 10-yard pickup, and we'll see if they have enough yardage for a first down. Good pass by Sands, and he's starting to find the mark. He's starting to find Schumacher on some of these shorter patterns when he can get it out there.
Yeah, and Schumacher did a nice job there as he went approximately to the change there and caught the ball, about 9-10 yard gain.
Yeah, about 9.5. Well, I think they're going to measure it, but I think, again, we might be a little bit short.
But I do know Central Catholic had a big game against conference rival Muhammad tonight, who is ranked 5th in Class 3A. They are 4-0 and 3-0 in their Corn Belt Conference, which is a tough conference, as Clinton used to know.
It is this year, especially. You look at who's in last place right now. The U-High Pioneers are in last place. They're 0-3, 1-3 overall, and I know they're not a bad football team. If you put them up against our schedule and the types of teams that we play, they do very well. But when you have Central Catholic and Muhammad and Olympia and obviously Pontiac and all those ball clubs, you're going to have a tough time winning football games. And I guess Peru St. Bede isn't too bad this year. They're 3-1 so far this year.
Yeah,
that conference is tough. Prairie Central may be the weakest team actually in that conference when they get down to the final records.
Yeah, Peru is definitely makes that conference depth-wise very good.
Second and short, and Sams is going to throw. Pump fakes. Now throws deep. Schumacher was open for a moment, but good anticipation and an interception made by St. Teresa. The ball just took too long to get there. And it's intercepted about the 29-yard line, and then going out of bounds immediately with the ball was Ryan Campbell. Campbell made a good adjustment from his safety position, read Sams, and came across there and stepped right in front of Schumacher, who was just about ready to make the catch and got the pick and goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
Well, Nate locked onto the wide receiver there. He made that pump fake, and all the safety really had to do there was just follow his eyes and try to make a break on the ball, and he made the perfect break on it and just stepped right in front of the wide receiver.
I think Schumacher had sprung free on the pump fake. Had gotten away from the coverage man initially, enough that he had a step or two on him, but the safety did his job and came across and read the play and made the interception. And that young man also had a catch as an offensive player for a touchdown earlier in this ball game. Here's Hunt handing off on first down, and I think we'll see some different players in there in the backfield now for St. Teresa. The fullback looks like is Chris Harding now, and he may have been in there a little bit earlier because he made that pass catch. And I see Rob Bosak, who's a senior, 5'9", 165 pounds, in at the tailback spot. A gain of 1 for St. Teresa on the run by the fullback. They're to the 30-yard line, and they'll have second down and 9. And I'm sure St. Teresa wants to rest some of their starters now because, as you mentioned earlier, they've got a game Tuesday and then a game next Friday. So, they want to rest up their front-line players for those games coming up.
Yeah, basically they're just going to put in their subs now and just run the clock out.
Hunt's still in there at quarterback, though, and he gives the Bosak, who gets a couple of yards and then was hit straight up and knocked back by a couple of Maroons. Josh Wilson, the last man off the bottom of that pile with the tackle on that particular play. Well, Central Catholic is next week, and by the way, that's Joe, you don't forget, don't show up for the ride up to Normal's Friday night. It's a Saturday night game.
Yeah.
On the AstroTurf. Saturday night game, I understand, up there at Central Catholic. And then the next week, we go down to Sullivan, and they were undefeated going into tonight's action also. So joy, joy, joy. We have a couple more tough games.
That's a big game, as Sullivan is undefeated right now in conference play.
Right.
2-0.
Another carry by Bosak up the middle. The Maroons slow it down at about the 35-yard line. Fourth down coming up for St. Teresa. They'll have to punt the football.
And also a surprise right now, although Monticello hasn't played St. Teresa or anybody like that, but they are also tied for the conference lead right now.
They're actually in first place, I think. Going into tonight's action, they were 2-0, while the next best was 1-0 in conference play. So, half game ahead. Here's a punt by St. Teresa, one of their few of the game, and a low line drive kick that the Maroons are going to have to let roll. Oh, Schumacher almost had it tap him in the foot, but it got by him, and it rolls dead at the 30-yard line. Not a very pretty kick, but it got the job done as it rolls all the way down to the 30-yard line. So Clinton will start first and 10 at their own 30. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Monticello, with their win over Argenta and with their win last week over our ball club, was 2-0 going into tonight's action. Sullivan was 1-0. St. Teresa hadn't played a conference game yet. So they always start a little bit behind because they finished their schedule with conference games 5 in a row. Well, that's not necessarily true this year because they had that game Tuesday. Here's a quick pass to Taylor. And Lance cuts it upfield and gets very close to a first down on that little quick look-in pass play. And we'll see if he got enough for the first down. The officials say yes, it is. They've had to look a lot of these over. I mean, there's been so many times when the ball's been very close to a first down that they've had to look all the way across the field because it seems like the ball's always on our side of the field when they have to look to see if it's a first down or not.
Yeah.
And they've had to measure a lot, haven't they?
Yeah, the plays have been very close, and that was a nice play for the Maroons. It was a quick out to the wide receiver, and it's a very high percentage.
Little misdirection. Conley breaks into the clear. Trying to get around the corner. Cuts it upfield. Dodges a man and then trips and falls down near the 46-yard line. But a nice first down run by the Maroons. I think, I don't know, Mike, maybe you can tell some of those uniforms are a little cleaner out there now for St. Teresa. Are they making some substitutions on defense also?
Not quite as many as I think they are on offense. Overrocker's still back there, and Wilkes is still back there.
So the Maroons still going against pretty much a frontline defense for St. Teresa, but picking up a couple of first downs on the pass play. Actually, I guess they were just, they did get the first down on that, didn't they? And then that running play by Conley. This one won't go too far. Wilson, a couple of yards across the 45 to about the 44-yard line. In the fourth quarter play, St. Teresa leading 41-14, with the Maroons trying to put some kind of drive together here to get some more points on the board. Still well over 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Well, it was a nice night for football, weather-wise at least, Joe.
Yeah, it is a pretty nice night, although
I
when
know
it's a little chilly like this, you put some hits on, you'll feel it in the morning.
You're not feeling too good about things right now. That's kind of putting a damper on it. I hope the weather holds off for Apple and Porthville the next couple of days. Sam's not able to pass. I think he dropped the ball on the ground, and St. Teresa might have recovered, and Nate's kicking himself right now. He held the ball out there on the run to the left-hand side when he was forced out of the pocket, and they knocked it away, and another turnover. And Nick Boehm recovers the loose ball for St. Teresa, and they've got the ball back at the 44-yard line.
Well, it's the turnover game right now, and St. Teresa's caused 3, and Clinton hasn't got any, so that is one factor in the score. And now St. Teresa with the ball will just be happy to run the clock out, run it up the middle.
Still Hunt in there at the quarterback spot, but again, they've got a couple of new guys in the backfield. He's going to throw. Hunt gets it upfield, but a good jarring tackle made immediately after the catch by the Maroons' Randy Rich. He came up there and really laid a good hard hit on Andy Cox as soon as he made that 3-yard pickup on that catch. Randy came barreling up from his secondary spot and was there just after the catch was made, and I thought maybe he'd jar that ball loose, but Cox did a good job hanging on to the football.
Yeah, it was just a quick out pattern to the wide receivers. He just threw the ball off the line of scrimmage and got about 3 yards.
Now, surprisingly, the crowd hanging around here pretty good. We've seen a few people head for the exits, but people sticking around to watch this one. On the second down play, not much yardage there as Wes Graves comes up, and Brad Earl help out to make the tackle on the reserve running back Rob Bosak. And they got about a yard on the play. 3rd down and 6 for St. Teresa coming up as they keep that clock moving. They're a couple yards short of midfield at the 48-yard line.
I was a little interested in the fact that St. Teresa did keep a lot of their starters in on defense with the 2 games coming up within a period of about 6 days.
On 3rd down and 6, Hunt with the I formation behind him. Takes the hand off the tailback, rolling out right. Tries a short pass, makes the completion. But again, the Maroons come up and cover it well right after the catch is made. They make the tackle. And very little gain on the play. I think that was Wes Graves that came up and made the tackle that time on Corey Reynolds, their tight end, who made the catch. And no gain on the play. 4th down and a punting situation coming up for the Bulldogs. And once again, Tony Morstatter will be called upon to kick the football.
Well, Reynolds just released off the line. He caught the ball actually a few yards back from the line of scrimmage, and then just got back to the line on the tackle.
Good snap. Earl was in there, and then he runs into the kicker, and the official just nods his head, and the kicker can't believe that there wasn't a penalty called as the punt goes downfield and is downed, and the St. Teresa fans yelling. Now wait a second here. I mean, oh, well, I don't know. The coaching staff can't believe it also. Hey, guys, it's 41-14. I guess maybe that's what the official's thinking. But, Mike, do you think maybe Earl roughed the kicker a little bit on that one?
Well, he kind of ran over him. I don't know if you'd call that roughing. He didn't take his name, I don't think, but...
Oh, man. You know, it was like he was going for the block, but he got there too soon, but he committed himself and jumped in the air, and he came right down on the kicker. And Morstatter couldn't believe he didn't get the call. But the Maroons will get the ball at their own 24-yard line after the ball was down, and on 1st down, Jamie Queer gets the call and runs for about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Maroons, and there's a flag thrown along the sideline. The official on the side over there, I think has been taking so much heat from the coaching staff that he's finally called a penalty on the coaching staff over there, and there's going to be a personal foul called against St. Teresa. That's the way it looks from here. I really don't know, you know, I mean, I understand you're upset because you didn't get the call when your kicker gets hit, but doggone it, you're winning 41-14. Maybe say a few words and then let it go, and let's get the game over with, because what difference is it going to make here? But then again, I guess you can afford to take a penalty, too.
Well, it's not like this penalty was a make-or-break situation. It's not a do-or-die play, and it might have been a bad call, but the referees can't make everything.
And if your player got hurt, or there was a chance he was going to get hurt, I can understand maybe them being upset. But actually, their kicker, although he was hit by Earl, he wasn't like he was in midair and Earl hit his leg and he could have injured his leg or anything like that.
Earl actually pulled up.
There's a pass over the middle intended for Schumacher and knocked away and almost intercepted there by St. Teresa. That Justin Brinkotter was in the vicinity, had a chance at picking that one off, but it falls to the turf incomplete. So they'll have 2nd and 10. After that penalty on the coaching staff of St. Teresa, the Maroons are at the 42-yard line, their own 42, with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Got to get everybody up to date here. I fall behind because I'm talking too much about other stuff.
It was a quick crossing pattern over the middle. Schumacher just had it knocked away from him by one of the DBs as St. Teresa is still playing very tight coverage.
There's still 4:40 to go in the fourth quarter of play, and with the snap of the football, there's another flag thrown. Last week we didn't have that many penalties called, but there seems to be more in tonight's ball game. We're kind of back to our mistakes a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, I think there was only about 5 penalties total last week, and I think either team has about that many tonight.
Offsides penalty against the Maroons will mark them back 5 yards. They'll have 2nd and 15 now at their own 37-yard line. If you're joining us late, St. Teresa scored first in this ball game, but Clinton answered in the first quarter of play, and we were tied 7-7. St. Teresa scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter of play, led 21-7 at halftime, but they broke it open in the third quarter of play. Here's Sam's throwing, short pass to Wilson, makes the catch, cuts it upfield, 40-yard line, 45-yard line, still on his feet and is ridden down at the 47. He'll be about 5 yards short of a first down with third down coming up. In that third quarter of play, St. Teresa scored two more touchdowns to get it up to 34-7. Clinton scored late in the third period of play to make it 34-14, but very early in the fourth quarter of play, Overrocker scored his third touchdown of the game, and that's where we're at right now, 41-14 in favor of St. Teresa. Overrocker in this ball game, his longest run we were looking at earlier has been 16 yards by your stats, but he has over 100 yards for the ball game because he's carried so many times. Yeah. Sam short pass is complete. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Igems has the first down, goes out of bounds in the vicinity of the 45. How many yards is Overrocker up to?
I have him at approximately 105 yards. And really, he didn't burn the Maroons with a big attack. It's just that he got the ball so much because St. Teresa had so much time of possession that he could not help but gain that many yards.
Igems' pass catch was good for a first down and about 8 yards from Sam's. So 1st and 10 for the Maroons. They're at the 44-yard line of St. Teresa. And Sam's again wanting to pass. Gets some time. Being chased from behind. Can't get away and goes down as he's drugged down from behind after about a 2-yard gain on the run. They were just good pursuit, chasing him from behind. And I think Bame got him from behind and drug him down with some assistance at the 42-yard line. Clock still running. A 2nd down at 8 coming up. We're down to 3:20 to go in the ball game. And St. Teresa is going to up their record to 3-1, 1-0 in conference play, and the Maroons are going to drop back now to 3-2 overall. And I would say, obviously a must-win situation. Of course, we shouldn't count Argenta and Eureka in the bag, but these 2 next tough ball games, we got to get one of the 2 to have a chance at the playoffs. Sam's under pressure again, rolling out right, is clipped from behind and knocked down for another sack, but actually for very little loss on the play as he was running forward toward the line of scrimmage on that rollout. A loss of maybe a yard.
He was trying to find a wide receiver down the right sidelines, and the defensive lineman was behind him. He didn't see him, and he just blindsided him from behind and really gave him a good hard hit.
I look at the teams that we have beaten this year. Eureka, of course, got a victory last week, but they've had such a tough schedule. They played Carlinville, who was in the state championship game last year, and they're rated very high in Class 3A. Lance Taylor was lining up out here on the left-hand side. I think he came across the line of scrimmage, and the Maroons are going to be penalized here for another offsides. Hey, you got the fireworks going. I didn't do that. Everybody's looking up toward me. I didn't do that. I didn't set those off. Had the cameraman jumping just a little bit out there. Offsides penalty against the Maroons will bring up a 3rd down to 14. Anyway, although Olympia's record isn't that good, they've played well against their schedule, and I think they're going to win some more ball games before it's over. But Warrensburg has only the 1 loss so far this year to us, and Tolona Unity has won all their ball games except for their loss to us also. So I think that speaks well for our football team. Here's Sam's on a quick pass. Oh, it hit Taylor in the hands, about 4 yards short of the first down marker, and pops out incomplete, and now it's 4th down and 14 coming up for the Maroons. That one was right on the numbers, it looked like, by Sam's. Good throw.
Yeah, it was a very good throw. Just Lance couldn't hang on. But, basically the Maroons are just trying to sustain a drive here. It's basically junk time as the game's pretty much decided. So.
Well, just to remind our listeners out there on the radio, and I guess those of you watching the television replay also, the Maroons have only 1 more home game left during the regular season this year, and that's in a couple of weeks. It'll be homecoming against Argenta. But the next 2 are on the road. Next Saturday at Central Catholic, and then at Sullivan in 2 weeks. Sam's has plenty of time. He's going to air it out. Ijem slowed down. Now he's going to try to run and catch up with it. And instead, St. Teresa player had a chance at it, but it goes off his hands, incomplete and out of bounds. And really, that's better for them to have it back here, if you're St. Teresa thinking about it, than way down there with an interception. It goes incomplete, and they take over on downs at about the their own 47 or 48-yard line, 1st and 10. A couple of minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, Bobby kind of slowed up, waiting for Nate to throw the ball, and then Nate just gunned the ball down and kind of overthrew Bobby there.
I think we got a penalty against St. Teresa, so this might not give the ball yet to St. Teresa. Sounds like somebody keeps picking up the phone at the radio station. I wish they'd stop doing that and just hang up that phone and leave it alone, because it's causing a lot of hum on our transmission on the radio. I'm sure things sound fine on TV, but I've heard it several times, and I know what that sound is. That's somebody picking up the phone, and then after a while they finally hang it up. But maybe that's somewhere else along the line. Maybe that's not at the radio station.
Well, maybe Bobby didn't slow up. Maybe it was a holding on
maybe that
St.
slowed him
Teresa.
up, huh? Holding against St. Teresa is the call. 4th and 4 coming up for the Maroons. Let's see if they can keep it alive and convert here. You know what? I forgot Mike Craig's down there. I just forgot all about him. He's, I don't know, taking a nap or something. Sam's rolling out left, looking for somebody. Fires a short pass, gets it to Schumacher. He's got the first down as he curls in, stays on his feet, breaks some tackles, still on his feet. He's inside the 25 and down to the 24. A lot of extra effort there by Ryan.
Yes, and I would have not liked to have been Ryan on that play. He took a couple big hits trying to wiggle free for yardage, and you know, that's going to hurt in the morning, I think.
That last one from behind, you know, you can't see that one coming, and that was the one that jarred him to the turf at the 24-yard line, but that one had to smart a little bit. But Ryan's a big, strong, tough guy, and he can take those hits. Sands, option right, running with the football. He's got Conley flanking him, but he'll keep it. He runs it for the first down and runs out of bounds down near the 12-yard line or so, and that may be enough for another first down. A good run by Nate Sams, and the Maroons are moving in the scoring position, and they have time to get points on the board with about a minute and a half to go in the ball game.
There's a good play by Nate, option right, one of the basic plays in the Maroons offense, and he just got outside and picked up about 12 yards.
Well, the Maroons trying to salvage something from this ball game, and it's not like they've been just totally blown away in this contest, but St. Teresa has a healthy lead of 41-14. But St. Teresa has shown that they can slow down the scoring offense of the Maroons, which averaged about 35 points a game. Here's Wilson up the middle on a little bit of a delay, got it to the 12. A couple of yards on the play, 2nd and 8 coming up near the 10-yard line, it would look like from here.
It's basically just that St. Teresa made a couple good stops on the Maroon offense, and then they just ate the time away with their running game. I mean, they have given the ball, I believe, to the running game over about 50 attempts. So.
Quick pitch to Conley, but they come up and snuff it out. Oh, there's a flag on the play, though, I think on the tackle, so it won't necessarily be a loss to the 15-yard line. That was Rob Bozak, their backup tailback, who came up and made the tackle, but he's called for a personal foul, a face mask, when he made the tackle. He was pretty proud of the fact he made the play, but he grabbed the face mask, so that'll make it half the distance to the goal line for the 15, and the Maroons should have the ball down about the 7.5-yard line, if I've got it right, and still time for the Maroons to try to put a last touchdown on the board. We've got just over a minute to go in the ball game.
And really, just to finish what I was saying, it's just St. Teresa's been kind of their own best friend here, is that they've kept the ball so much on offense that they haven't given Clinton the opportunity to score on their offensive side of the ball. And with that ground game, it just kept the ball in St. Teresa's hands so many times. They didn't turn the ball over, so it really didn't give Clinton an opportunity to get on the board often.
2nd and 5 for the Maroons, but they're at the 7-yard line of St. Teresa with over a minute to go. Conley gets the call, cuts it up the middle, fumbles the football, and St. Teresa recovers it. They pick it up, and they're going to get a run back coming the other way, bringing up the far sideline, the 20-yard line. Ryan Campbell's run out of bounds on the Clinton bench at about the 40-yard line, the 37 or so. And Conley had the ball stripped away that time, and St. Teresa has thwarted the Maroons' probably last chance to get some points on the board in this ball game. Conley was down about, I think, the 3-yard line or so, following the big right side of the offensive line when it was knocked away. And, boy, the ball carried quite a ways. It traveled across the field to 5 or 10 yards or so, and Campbell was in the right place at the right time to pick it up and get some good yardage on the run the other direction.
Yes, and, Conley was fighting, trying to wriggle free to get into the end zone, and he had the ball out in one hand, and he got it stripped from him. And, as you said, it was kind of an opportunistic bounce for Campbell.
Time running out in this ball game, and St. Teresa is going to try a backup quarterback in the ball game now. Joe Tapscott is into the ball game. And they'll run out the clock. Let me see just how much time we got left here. I can barely see it 40-some seconds ago. That darn light pole's in the way, but not much more to go in St. Teresa. Maybe one more snap of the football, and they'll have this victory. They lead 41-14. So again, no ball game Friday night for the Clinton Maroons. They play Saturday night at ISU against Central Catholic, and they will have to continue to try to improve their defense in preparation for that ball game. Because the Saints are a fine football team.
Yes, the Saints are definitely going to be good. And
quick pitch, Maroons cover it well to Bosak, coming from behind to make the tackle for the Maroons. I'm trying to double check and make sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yep, it was Russ Wantland, and that will be the final play of the ball game. So this one is a final. St. Teresa has the victory over the Maroons. They win it by a final score of 41-14. We'll be back to recap it for you in a moment. Well, for the first time this year, the home crowd here at Clinton High School goes home after a Maroon loss. The first 3 games this year and the first 3 games played on the schedule were all victories for the Maroons. The exciting 14-7 win over Olympia, the thrilling 40-34 win over Tolona Unity, and the big victory over Warrensburg Latham. But tonight, not to be, St. Teresa really does appear to be, I think, the class of the conference. We haven't seen Sullivan yet. We have seen Warrensburg. Argenta, it looks like, is a struggling football team, very young football team this year, and they're not going to be able to compete with the likes of a St. Teresa. So in Monticello, although they're improving, I don't think they can match these guys. It's pretty much between St. Teresa and Sullivan it would look like in the conference this year, and I would have, of course, give the upper hand to St. Teresa after what I saw here tonight as they win over the Maroons 41-14.
Yes, St. Teresa and Sullivan were the preseason favorites 1 and 2, and I think St. Teresa definitely showed why tonight they just kind of just dominated the Maroons by keeping the ball time of possession wise, and they really didn't allow the Clinton offense to stay on the field for any length of time.
This is kind of a typical St. Teresa type ball game, I think, now for them. They're getting into the groove. They did pretty much the same thing last week to a very good Maroa Forsyth football team. They beat Maroa by, I think, a 34-14 count last week. Very much similar to the way they dismantled the Maroons here tonight. And you know, like I said, Maroa Forsyth, a very good team in Class 2A. I think they're a playoff potential team by looking at the rest of their schedule and some of the teams they've beaten, including a state-rated Pittsfield team in the second game of the season. So this is nothing to be ashamed of, to be beaten by a St. Teresa team, because these guys obviously are a playoff team, and they might be one of the best in Class 2A this year as this group of juniors get more and more experienced.
Yeah, I think Maroa and Clinton are kind of similar. They both base their offensive game on the running game, and Coach Knudsen said they started to shut down Maroa Forsyth's running game in the second half, and really they shut down the Maroons after that initial score. They shut them down for a while, didn't let the offense get on the field, and after that they really didn't have to do much.
Shane Overrocker didn't run wild for St. Teresa, but he did rack up another ho-hum 100-yard ball game. But his biggest run from the line of scrimmage was 16 yards, and he had a lot of runs for less than that. As a matter of fact, I see a -3, a -5, a -1. I mean, there were times when we dropped him for losses or very short yardage, but they gave it to him so many times he was able to get 100 yards for the night, right?
Yeah, they gave him the ball to him 23 times, and anytime you give him that much in high school, he's going to end up with over 100 yards. As you basically,
if you're a good runner like he is,
yeah.
certainly.
Well, he just hits the hole so fast. It's like he gets the ball and then he's already through the line of scrimmage, and with his acceleration. And they basically just, as I said, had so much time of possession. I bet they have over about 50 carries rushing the ball, and they really didn't have to do much in the passing game, although they were very effective.
Actually, it surprised me how much passing they did do and how effective they were at it. They came up with several completions, and they spread it around. Yeah, Wilkes had a lot of their catches, but they got it to Campbell once for the touchdown, and Bain made a catch, and Harding made a catch. Well, I think Harding made a catch. I really didn't think he did. And Cox made a catch, and Reynolds. But, you know, they did spread it around some, too.
Yeah, he was. Hunt was 8 for 13 passing. He nailed Wilkes on a few big plays of over 30-some yards. He nailed Campbell for the 21-yard score in the first half.
Right.
And he was pretty accurate passer, and he did a nice job. But, you know, when St. Teresa ran the ball so much, they just kind of passed to break up the monotony, and they did a pretty good job.
As you said, Overrocker with over 100 yards tonight and 3 touchdowns. He had touchdown runs in this ball game of 10 yards, 4 yards, and 5 yards for his 3 scores in St. Teresa's scoring. How about for the Maroons now? Forced to throw the ball a lot tonight, and Nate Sams had a tough time finding receivers in the first half of play, but his percentage improved a lot in the second half of play. A lot better passing game in the second half.
Yeah, I had him at 8 for 24, 62 yards, and an interception. He got more accurate as the third quarter and fourth quarter wore on. He finally started hitting Schumacher, and he spread it around a little bit after that. He hit Igems and Lance Taylor and Van Fossen and Jeff Wilson out of the backfield. And he did a nice job toward the end. It's just, you know, they were basically out of it by the time the Clinton Maroons got the ball offensively in the second half. And you couldn't really do much after that point.
So obviously the key, the ability of St. Teresa to cover our receivers well, especially in that first half of play when they opened up the lead and early in the third quarter, and to shut down our running game. They kept the ball out of Conley's hands quite a bit. And even though Nate Sams had a little better night running the football than he did against Monticello last week, they never let him really get totally away. He had some first down runs, 10, 12 yards at a time a few times, but they kept him under wraps pretty well, and Jeff Wilson got some yardage too, but still, they handled our running game well enough to keep us from scoring very many points.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I think Sam's biggest yardage gain from scrimmage was broken plays where, like, he fumbled the ball initially or plays like that. Right. And, you know, Sam's did get some pretty good quality carries there, and he led them in their score in the second half. He led them down the field pretty good. Wilson ended up being the biggest rusher. He had 66 yards. They gave him the ball plenty. I was kind of surprised as Connolly didn't get the ball as much as he usually does, but Connolly didn't break a big play against St. Teresa like he has against some other teams, and I think that's a credit to the defense, the linebackers, nice pursuit to the outside.
Well, the team gets an extra night of or day or whatever of practice, if that's what the coach decides to do next week, because they don't play until Saturday night, and we'll go get them again next week. But another tough team, as we said earlier. It's Central Catholic Saints next Saturday night up there at ISU, so we'll see how the Maroons prepare for that one. They're certainly, you know, they weren't overlooking this ball game. They were ready to play football tonight. It just turned out they played a better football team, and Central Catholic has to be regarded, I would think, pretty similar to St. Teresa. They're a fine football team.
Yes, they are about a similar size-wise as St. Teresa. They're small but quick. One of their big guys, their linebacker, is only about 5'7", 155 pounds, but he's their leading tackler by 20 tackles.
Right.
So
they're not necessarily going to overpower you, but obviously they're sound fundamentally. They know how to make the blocks and make the plays, and as you said, they've got good quickness like St. Teresa does.
Yeah, their coach May says our guys might not be big, but they want to get to the ball and they want to make the tackles, and really that's the big key there. Really desire. You don't have to have the size if you have the want to get to the ball.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up and get on out of here, but we'll look forward to that ball game next Saturday night when the Maroons take on Central Catholic up at ISU, and hope a lot of people will come up and support the Maroons there. It's a big stadium, a lot of room for a lot of people, so come on up. And we won't be able to fill it to capacity by any means, but you know, bring a big enough crowd that they can hear you and kind of overshout some of those Central Catholic fans, because you know they'll have a lot of people there, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, Coach's Corner tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, 9:30 on WHOW Radio. We'll talk this one over with Coach Chuck Nagel and look ahead to the game against Central Catholic.